There we go.
Hey.
Oh, wrong background. There we go.
Now everybody's gonna know what we're talking about
Oh
later.
no,
Oh no.
it kind of crossed over.
Ooh. Crossover side by side. I like it.
I know, right? Just
Listen to that music. I can hear it.
Oh, now
Oh.
it's. I think we're getting on that audio. I think we're figuring it out.
Slowly but surely.
That's how we
It's
get
been
there.
it's been almost a year in progress. But hey, man. I
Well,
mean, we've come a long
come
way.
a long way. It's been a year of the show almost, but the Streamyard is new.
StreamYard.
Is still new to us. We're under 5 weeks learning how to use it.
What the duck is that?
Yeah, the old duck, good old StreamYard. If you want to learn how to, if you want to do your own podcast or do your own shows, I would recommend StreamYard. That's what we use. We're using good old StreamYard. There's the plug. I think that's the only plug we really got,
Yeah, man.
other than our own side by side movie podcast.
Side by side movie reviews with Ben Garrett and CJ Robles.
Side by side, side by side. We stay inside.
We are yeah. We are side by side. Even in the podcast, we're side by side.
Yes.
Even though we're looking different ways. How do I look at you?
It goes like this.
Am I looking at you right now?
I don't know. I can't.
You need-
Oh no,
can't
I can see. Oh yeah, I can see you.
You
Okay,
can see me.
I can see you. Yeah, you're mine. Okay, you are looking at me. So if I turn it off.
What's up, CJ? How's it going?
Yo, what's up? So welcome to Side by Side Movie Podcast or movie reviews. We're we're two buddies that just like to talk about movies. We find two movies with a common interest. We talk about them, and then we recently watch them, and we talk about them, and then we find something in those movies that are that have a common interest, and we just keep finding two movies back to back.
Yeah,
And this
this week kind of came out of nowhere, man. Because we were, who would have thought we would have ended up with these two movies after last week? I definitely wouldn't have.
there's the common factor here would be Joe Pesci.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, we also have Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese as common in this too. But last week we had Dredd and Judge Dredd, and apparently in Judge Dredd, Joe Pesci was what was the guy's name?
It was
Fergie.
Fergie. Yeah.
he was the original choice for Fergie, and
He turned it down.
I made the assertion that I would have loved to have seen Joe Pesci in Dredd or Judge Dredd, excuse me, and CJ had a differing opinion on that, and we worked it out. We ended up figuring out what each other meant, and yeah, and then that's how we ended up here with Goodfellas and Casino.
Because
And-
Joe Pesci was our conversation piece for the
Yep.
whole like hour.
And now a week and 6 hours worth of movies later.
God. Talk about marathon, man.
I'm telling you, dude. I started watching these movies because normally I'll wait till you know 2 days maybe before we do it. That way I can do one movie one day, one movie
Yeah.
the other. I had to start like 3 or 4 days before just because I knew this is going to be a long haul.
Yeah, so we're talking about 1990s Goodfellas, rated R, 2 hours and 26 minutes. Before the MCU really got you going, you should have watched these movies. The story of Henry Hill and his life in the mob, covering his relationship with his wife Karen Hill and his mob partners Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito in the Italian American crime syndicate. Director Martin Scorsese, writers Nicholas Pileggi and Martin Scorsese, stars Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci. Ray Liotta. And then we're put side by side next to Martin Scorsese's 1995 movie Casino, rated R. A whopping 2 hours and 58 minutes. A tale of greed, deception, money, power, and murder occur between two best friends. A mafia enforcer and a casino executive compete against each other over a gambling empire and over a fast-living and fast-loving socialite. Director Martin Scorsese. Writers, once again, is Nicholas Pileggi and Martin Scorsese. It stars Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone, and Joe Pesci. It seems like Martin Scorsese just like he grabs a book, reads it, and then makes the movie version of it.
I mean, he did that with Wolf of Wall Street as well. Um,
Oh, see, I still haven't seen that movie.
you haven't like at all?
No, I haven't seen that movie. We talked about this. We've had my open discussion about The Wolf of
Yeah,
Wall
but I
Street.
keep forgetting because it's so flabbergasting that you haven't seen this movie.
Well, I'll tell you what I think about it. And for the people that don't remember, and I'll say that I just that whole like kind of guy it brought. I remember that persona of dude like, no, I'm gonna be like that era that when that movie came out, all the guys are just kind of like, I'm the next guy, I'm the next Gecko, I'm the next,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
was like, oh God. And remember Scarface? Remember compared to the Scarface,
yeah.
how like Scarface came out, and then everybody was like, especially where I was
There's
from,
only two things that I break. I
the
don't break.
cockroach. I don't mind
I never break my word or my balls for no one. You
I
know.
don't mind the quotes. I don't mind it. I just didn't like the egos that came with Scarface and then Wolf
You're
Wall
talking
Street.
and to be clear, you don't like the egos that it gave other people. You don't
Yes.
mind the movie. You don't like the way it affected the audience.
Yeah, I can watch Scarface all day, but then it's like I see the way some people just try to be like that, and I'm like, really, it's just a freaking movie,
Well,
man.
no, I mean I can understand that, but it's fun to watch them fail, CJ. You because they aren't like that. They want to
No,
think they
I
are.
don't have time to watch. Just like I'm not saying I don't have time. I'm just saying like this is like okay for to each their own. I just didn't like. It changes people's egos and
Yeah.
it changes people's minds. Like also like the
Well, what's that?
Fast and the Furious, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
I
if
was actually talking about talking about that with somebody at work. He's like, "Are you gonna go see Fast 9?" I was like, "Well, probably, man. I'm already so invested in this thing. Like, I'm already 8 movies in. Why not go see the ninth one?" Uh,
that's what happens, man. Some of the
but
horror movies.
yeah, man. Well, and another thing too is like, he was like, well, he said something about, well, we were talking about how Dom is always like, oh, it's all about family, and he's like, how the hell do we go 8 movies without knowing you have a younger brother? And then finally, John Cena, like if it's a half brother, that'll work. I'll give
Well,
you that. But it's like, hey Dom, hey Jacob,
hey,
like get the hell out of here,
don't
man.
don't they? And remember, everyone that's listening, we have spoilers. Like we have spoilers for everything, so just get ready to be spoiled.
Yeah, we even have
Um,
spoilers for movies that haven't come out yet. So what do you
but
got?
but isn't the trailer? But isn't the trailer? Don't they say his brother? Like it's his brother. Like that's
Yeah,
the movie trailers. Just like say everything. They show you the whole movie, and now it's like, do you want
well,
to invest a
they
couple?
and that's another thing we were talking about. Like none of the Fast and Furious villains ever die. They just join the team. Like,
They Kevin Durant it. If I can't
yeah,
beat him, I join him.
yeah, dude. Like it's like The Rock. All right, we're gonna catch you, Dom. I'll give you a head start. And then the next time it's like, Dom, I need your help. You know, we're a family now.
We have a common enemy now. We have a
And
common.
even
We're an
even
ally.
with what was it the Shaw character, Jason Statham's character, like he even helps him out. If Charlize Theron is a good guy in this one, or turns out to be a good guy, I'm literally done. I'm out. You could do 2 more movies, leave me out of it. I'm done.
I
Because
think
I think they do have slated Fast 10 and Fast 11, which, if we're gonna be completely honest, they needed to stop as soon as Paul Walker passed
yeah.
away. I think that's where they
Which
needed to
number did
just
he
cut it.
pass away at?
7. That
So
was his
they
last
so they
movie.
made 8 already without
Yeah.
him. So now they're
They
making
yeah.
another one 9, and then the Hobbs and Shobbs is his own thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in so, and apparently there another character is supposed to be getting a spin-off. I think Tyrese Gibson is getting a spin-off. I could be wrong on that one. Another thing too is like, what was it? My friend at work said, yeah, I think they're gonna bring back Paul Walker's character for this one, like using his brother, and I was like, dude, no,
If they go
don't
that far, yeah,
don't do that. And well, and another thing too is they're bringing it back. Like they even had Han in the trailer. Like you're right, they don't have any surprises left. Well, they probably do, but
because Han was supposed to die when like 7, right?
um,
Or
I think 6.
yeah, like he kind of, but you don't know how he ambiguously dies, right? Is
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's like
Oh no, he dies in the third one.
the third one.
Yeah, because remember he gets run
Oh,
over,
Tokyo,
right?
Tokyo.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know,
then
dude. These
See, that's what I'm
I'll
saying,
give
dude.
you this. I watched one, two, and three at the movie theaters. I did watch those three,
Yeah.
but after that, I was just kind of like, I don't. Is this thing
I'm
still going?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Fast Five is probably the best movie out of the bunch because it's like a heist movie. It's almost like they're going back to their roots kind of thing, and they have a crew that they put together. It's like a heist car movie, and you don't like the villain. You know it's a solid movie.
Is is that the
Um,
one where they're on like in Miami and they're on the bank or the vault is on the road and just swinging
well,
left and right?
it's Rio, but yes,
But that's the
that's
movie,
yeah,
right?
that's the movie.
Ario,
Yeah,
all right, it looks like Miami.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
It probably is Miami, but
yeah,
there's like it's
I want.
Rio.
I've never been to Miami. I could just tell through the movies. But let's get back to good old Goodfellas because
Yeah.
I'm at the scene here where they beat up the mailman because he's taking the
Yeah.
delivery to.
And I thought they were gonna beat up the dad at
That's what I thought.
first.
There. That's what I thought. Then I was like,
Yeah.
no, you got to go. You got to go to the source.
Yeah, well that's the thing too, is like that's how these guys think, is like, okay, well, we can't just go and beat up his dad, so we have to, like you said, they go to the source. It's like they backtrack. It's like, okay, who can we beat up to make sure this doesn't happen again? What can we do to make sure this doesn't become a problem? Um, so yeah, dude, this Goodfellas is a solid ass movie. It's 2.5 hours, like you said. Goodfellas does not feel like it's 2.5 hours. It's good paced. It has even the slower scenes, like they mesh well. And I
Yeah.
want to know too if Scorsese has a director's cut of either one of these movies. I want to know how long it is.
God, I know. I didn't even think about that. 2 hours and 26 minutes. In 1990, like that the whole. But I mean, this thing is very
You got
informative.
yeah,
It's very informative. So it's showing you things, and it's also it's a predated. Like it's a timepiece.
yeah.
So it's shot in the 19 in like
Well,
1989, 1990, but it's
exactly. Well,
made for what, the 70s, the 50s.
well, it says it right underneath you. There, 3 decades of the life in the mafia. So the 50s through the 80s.
80s, yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
well, not through the 80s.
Well,
They
just
kind of
56, yeah.
50s, 60s, 70s. But what's crazy about this is like whenever I watch movies like this, I always just naturally assume, like in my mind, they were made yesterday. You know, like it wasn't made in 1990. You know, this
Yeah.
was made recently, and so at the end of the film, whenever it's like in 1987, you know, Henry Hill did this, da 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 da. I was thinking about, I was like, this was made in 1990. That was only 3 years from when this happened, you know? And I
Yeah.
was just like, wow, that's not that far off. Like all this stuff that happened with him was like in like the early 80s. So it's still pretty fresh in as far
But
as
but it's based off a book, right?
it's based off a book. Yes,
So
it's
he
called Wise
basically
Guys. Yeah.
the Wise Guys, right?
Yeah.
So he basically read the book, and I guess they did a little bit of or whatever research they did for the roles. But I mean, it seems like I want to say the Godfather, the Francis Ford Coppola,
Mhm.
the Godfather. It's like if you were in those movies, you were grandfathered in Scorsese movies. Like you, I noticed a lot of people from Godfather in a lot of Scorsese mob movies,
Yeah.
even if they're small roles, but or you see them as like a role here, and then in Goodfellas they got a bigger role, and then they're in Sopranos, and then it's like it's a lot of repeat offenders in their own little world over here. It's like definitely mob movies.
Well,
Um,
and you're gonna have those guys that look like they're gangsters and stuff like that. Even Joe Pesci, man. I mean, even his stature, he's not a very tall
no,
dude,
he's
but
not a
he
big
has a
guy.
presence, and that's what they really they bring out of those movies. I mean, especially in Casino, they're always the little guy. You know, they say
Yeah,
the little guy all the time.
and I mean there's I grew up very like I don't want to say similar to this, but we had our our little families that are like that in your small town with the like they have that the old school vibe. The just go. Latinos would do the same thing. You say hi to everybody. Like, oh, there's like 80 people here. Well, go say hi. It's like okay, hello, hello.
Yeah,
It's like it's like there's still like the old world, and I got the connection here. Um, the thing that I will say is that Joe Pesci is not made in Goodfellas, and then he dies in that one, and then he comes back in Casino, and he's a made person. So you get to see him on both sides of the fence and how he
yeah.
is. Honestly, I thought. he was scarier. I thought he was supposed to be, as I remember, because I saw Casino when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I didn't see it at the theaters. I saw it at home on pay per view, but I saw it, and then I saw Goodfellas. I want to say freshman year of high school. So I saw it like I saw probably Casino what like 90, maybe 95 or 96,
Hmm.
and then I didn't see Goodfellas until like 2000. But when I saw Goodfellas, this is what I want to share this story with you. When I saw Goodfellas, it kind of had a little on me, like a little, just a little, like my first little, because I like that poster so much. The one right there. With Robert De Niro. I actually have the one with Paul Sorvino. So there was a Goodfellas poster I had, and I took it. I took down my old poster from that I had from junior high, and then I put the Goodfellas up. Instantly noticing that the females would be like, "Hey, that's a nice poster you got there," opposed to the poster I had before, which was the Roadkill Cafe poster. You kill it, we grill it. It's like I gotta look for it real quick, man. But I had that poster up in my room. My mom didn't let us put like anything in the wall, so I had to use like tape.
Yeah,
And what do you call it? I just had that poster up for a long, long time. And as soon as I took that down, things got started changing a little bit. And then also I had a Bruce Lee poster that I really really liked.
dude. Talking about movie posters, man. Um, I was in college and I was gifted two Star Wars posters. Um, that were one was of Star Wars, the original. Um, it had the Millennium Falcon on it. It was really cool. It looked like a 3D, like it was like an original poster and everything, but it looked like it was 3D coming out at you. And then I
Hmm.
had a Return of the Jedi poster, and I had this for years. They were already kind of, a little bit messed up at the bottom. And so in my mind, I was like, this probably could be worth something, but, you know, this is a poster. I'm just going to treat it like a poster. I like it. It's for me. I don't plan on selling this, anything like that. Because it was, like I said, it was gifted to me, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever I'm leaving Austin and, you know, uh, in my mind, I'm thinking like, I don't have anywhere to put these posters. Like we're moving, all this other stuff. So I gift them to my roommate at the time. He's a good Star Wars fan too. He enjoys it, and so I don't think anything of it. We go to the mall the other day for Bath and Body Works sale. It's the semi-annual sale, just in case you didn't know. 75% off a lot of stuff. It's great.
That is at
Um,
Bath and Body Works, everybody.
Bath. Wait, yeah, Bath and Body Works. I
Yeah,
want to
because
make sure. Yeah, I
Bath and
want to make
Beyond
sure.
gets me.
Yeah, I didn't. I want to make sure I said that right. And anyway, they had the Star Wars store in the mall we went to last time. So we're walking around. And at first I thought it closed down during the pandemic, but it ended up they must have had like they moved to a bigger storefront, and we ended up finding it. And I'm walking around and I see the poster that I had. I was like, oh, that's nice. $675 is selling this for.
The poster you have,
The poster I had, yeah, that I gifted to somebody else. I was like,
I'm getting that poster right back.
yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, dude, it's like I said, and this wasn't like none of these posters are like mint condition. Like you see creases in them and stuff
Yeah.
like that too. So I was just like, well, damn. And then Kenya's like, you shouldn't have given that away. And I was like, well, yeah, it is what it is. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, I
I'm not
can't.
I'm
I
not
can't.
I'm not too worried about it at all.
I.
It's just a fun.
But for both posters or for one, they're
No,
they're.
just for one.
So oh wow. So
The
yeah,
Return of the
but
Return of the Jedi poster was like $675.
I'll tell you this
It's
much, man.
framed and everything too, so that has
Oh, okay,
some
yeah.
bit of the cost in there.
I on some stuff like that I find out when the value once I own it, I'm
Mm.
like I don't think of selling at that point. Like I don't.
No,
I just know if I have to sell it, I know what it sells for.
yeah,
But even at that, I don't care. I'm like,
no,
but
same.
half the stuff belong to my son now. So here's that poster I was talking about. Roadkill Cafe. You kill it, we grill it. Feature featuring some of our highway finest. Eating food.
Bag and gag. I like that.
God, it has the stains on the shirt. Like I had this on my wall for a very very long time. Like sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
yeah, that's about that. My personality starts right about here. I like that.
I had a Simpsons poster that I got from a book fair, and at that point, I wasn't even watching The Simpsons on a regular basis. I was like, oh, I know The Simpsons, and so I got the poster, and they had like all the characters on there.
Cool, man. I like the
Yeah.
yeah, I like those old Simpson posters. I
Mm.
mean, it's just weird how like nowadays what we hold those as value. Like I
Yeah.
feel like these movies are valued very well.
Yeah.
I think with Goodfellas, the this might be an episode where we go back and forth because I totally forget Casino's a Scorsese movie.
Hmm.
But then I've kind of like I watched Goodfellas last night, and then I woke up early this morning and I watched because before I went to bed I was like, can I squeeze in Casino or should I just wake up in the morning? And then I go, let me see what's like. Oh, 3 hours. I was like, I'll just do it in the morning.
Yeah.
So I made myself crash out, and then I woke up and I watched it. And man, I remember watching Casino a lot when I was a kid, so I kind of knew it. But watching it now as an adult and then getting a lot more of the references,
Hmm.
I will say that Joe Pesci's portrayal of Tommy is scarier than Nicky. Even though I think Nicky does more like does scarier things or does like you see him do more I don't know more gruesome. It's just I don't understand. This is like a continuation of his almost the same character in a way. But like I said, like this one he's
Yeah.
made in Casino and in Goodfellas he's not. And then this is what the third time that these guys have worked together because they did Raging Bull. It was Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Scorsese.
Scorsese. Yeah.
So it's
And also Billy Batts and Frank. Uh, Billy Batts in Goodfellas and Frank
yeah,
in Casino. He was also in Raging Bull.
yeah, he's one of those guys. Yeah, and he's
He
see he's
does.
Billy Batts. He's really
Billy Batts, he doesn't even look like
yeah, he doesn't
himself
look
in
like
that.
him.
That's crazy, man. Like because I had to go back and look on IMDb. I was like, because I was going through, I was like, was that Billy Batts? And even on his IMDb page, it's Billy Batts on there. Like that's his iconic role is
Yeah,
playing Billy Batts. And that's only a 5 year difference between 1990 and 1995. So it had to have been makeup or it had to have been something like that that
yeah,
they did.
because even like Frank Vincent, yeah, Billy Batts, like I get him out of the joint. Yeah, Tommy, go polish my shoes. You know, it's like damn. He's like that's the I don't know. See, that's that shit that I guess like us. I don't know. I always say minorities, but like growing up, we're like that's that thing where like, oh, you think you're better than me? I'm like, no, I just shut up. Like I just want to
Yeah.
let me show you. I'm like, oh, great. It's just
Well,
that ego, that persona.
yeah, and so I with Goodfellas, man, Goodfellas and Casino are yes, they're very similar, but the thing I think that really differentiates them, aside from being in New York and Las Vegas, um, Goodfellas makes you feel like everything's okay. You know, whenever Tommy goes crazy, you're like, oh shit. Like that's when you kind of get that feeling like, oh man, this is real. And any other time, it's Henry just talking about how good things were and how this was, and just kind of explaining things. And even Jimmy, Robert De Niro's character. I
Yeah.
mean, he's menacing, but he's not near as scary as Tommy, like you said. And just Tommy's just a wild card. And he kind of that Nicky character is kind of a wild card too, but he's a little bit more honed in, just a little bit. Um, I think, like you said, because he's made and stuff like that. So he has that bit of respect that Tommy doesn't. Um,
Well, I will say that something that I picked up this go around that I didn't really pick up ever when I've seen Goodfellas a lot was that Jimmy is the catalyst to all this. It's kind of his story told through Henry Hill's
yeah,
eyes, because Jimmy's the one he kills everybody at the end. He doesn't
hmm
want anything that could bring him back, and then you start seeing all the bodies, and then man, it's that whole scene where Tommy like gets made like Jimmy's like so proud and so happy, and he's just like yeah, like this guinea from was made it like one of us made it, and they just had enough of him. Like you kind
yep,
of get the same thing from Tommy and Nicky. You just get enough of that crazy thing, and then they like even like he shoots him in the face. He goes, yeah, those bastards shot him in the face, so his mother couldn't give him a closed casket. Which
yep.
I think the mother in Goodfellas, I think it's
Yeah, it's
who,
uh,
who
it's also the same mother of Frank in Casino, but it's Scorsese's mom.
it's
Yeah,
Scorsese's mom, right?
yeah.
Because they're okay. So I think I caught on to that a couple years ago, or something that kind of I think I came across something
It's the
that
glasses.
yeah, and then
That's the
but
reason.
then you see like if I me and myself as a filmmaker watching if I had to do a scene with my mom like that and record her like all the nat like you get to see like that's the way he sees his mother. That's what I got.
Yeah,
I got that that's the way Scorsese sees his mother, and the shots are very they're just one shot just on the mom, just she's talking, and I'm like that's awesome, like that he did that, like so kudos to good old
yeah.
Martin Scorsese.
So, and another thing about these two movies is, Goodfellas has a lot of long shots. It has a lot of those like long, drawn out shots where, like, whenever you see the guy in the meat freezer, you make your way through the freezer. You know, it's not just like going
Yes.
through the freezer fast and then you see him. Like, no, you go past all the meats. You walk like you're walking with a regular person. In Casino, you don't have that near as much. It's a lot of cutscenes. It's a lot of here to here. Um, and in Casino, the dialogue is mostly narration. You know,
Yeah.
I did notice that it was a lot of just narration, and then you see these people interacting with each other throughout the movie. And yeah, with Goodfellas, man, like you have a lot of narration through Henry Hill and what is it? What's his wife's name?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah,
Karen.
Karen. And then you have that's another cool thing I thought about that too is like you don't just have narration from Henry. Like you have narration from Karen. And
Yeah.
do you get any from Tommy? I can't remember in
I think you get a
Goodfellas.
little, but
A
in
little.
Casino, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It repeats itself, and then
But
there's
in a
a I
different way.
well,
That's what's nuts about it too.
in
It what's
I
up?
think in Goodfellas it's more informative, where in Casino it's more of a passing of here you hold the torch and you talk, here you hold the torch and you talk.
Yeah.
Because there's even the guy, even Frank Vincent's character, I think it was his name in Casino, Frankie.
Well, he has that little bit at the end.
That little bit, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
even he has a little. Yeah, he plays Frank. He has Frankie. He has a little bit, but even when they kill Nikki, he's talking mid sentence, and then they hit him in the back, and just like you
Yeah.
hear it,
Uh
you
huh.
know.
I thought that
So
was really cool.
yeah,
Also, De Niro's character makes it out alive in both these movies.
oh yeah, because the first one he's the wise guy, and then
Uh
the
huh.
second one he's the. See, this is the thing is like, is he a good guy? Like he's just out of
So
you.
in Casino, he is a. You don't see him kill anybody in Casino. He's not a killer.
No, he's not a killer.
He threatens his wife with death numerous times, but you don't see him lay a finger
He's
on
Eminem.
anybody. Yeah, he's
He's
the
Eminem.
yeah. Well, and even like he gets other people to do his work for him. He has the know how to, and Nikki gets wise to it. He's like, okay, I'm just doing all his bidding, and I think that's kind of where you have a split in their friendship whenever. Oh, dang man, I keep on. Let's see, I just watched it last night. Let's see, Sam and Nikki and Ginger. Okay, so Sam, we'll call him Ace because they call him Ace throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Um, so Ace is just he realizes his worth, and you kind of get that throughout the movie. And once he is tied in with um, the family and everything like that, that's when they start building him up. They see his worth and they're not going to lose him. And even the hit on his life with the car bomb, which at the beginning, man, you could tell that was a dummy from a mile away. But I don't you know what I'm saying? Whenever the car blows up, it's like you see De Niro in there, and then the flames go up, and then it looks like a dummy.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay, you're talking about a real dummy. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay, I was like, oh yeah, he's. I don't think he's not coming. It's
yeah.
like,
But I mean, it's interesting how De Niro did such a good job in both these movies at playing uh, similar but different characters. And that being said, will you hold the fort down for just a minute?
oh yeah, I will. I
Thank you.
got you, bro.
I appreciate it.
Um, all right, so we're having a step away. Usually happens with me. Once in a while, I will have to step away, and Ben has to hold down the fort. But that is I now. So let's see. Let's see what we can do. I was just going through the trivia, and let's see. Apparently, this movie has a lot of cuss words in it. Well, maybe I should wait for that. I'll just talk about it, and then when Ben comes back, we'll talk about it. Um, fuck and its derivatives are used 321 times on an average of 2.04 per minute. Joe Pesci says about half of them. The script called for the word to be used 70 times, but much of the dialogue was improvised during shooting, and the expletives piled up. At the time of the film's release, it had the most profanity of any movie in history. As of 2020, it's ranked 15. The Wolf of Wall Street is 2013, also directed by Martin Scorsese, is number 3. So Martin Scorsese likes to cuss in his scripts. So also what I found here was let's do that. After Joe Pesci's mother saw the film, she told him the movie was good. Then asked him if he had to curse so much. Oh, like a mother. Yep. Yeah, I think my mom would. I don't know if she would. Would she? If I made a movie, if I made the movie or acted in the movie, I don't think she would care if I cussed that much, just because I'm in it or something. But I don't know if it was the other way around. If someone was like cussing at me, she'd probably get upset. Um, but yeah, cussing profanity. This movie. These movies do talk very harsh, and they use a lot of they did use a lot of expletives. I just have a son, so I try to not cuss as much because if you know just the way I was raised, I guess. But watching those movies and seeing the way it was just the older times, the way people just kind of spoke to each other. There was a hierarchy there of respect. Um, it's it's always to me like about respect. People who want the most respect don't usually give the most respect, but usually people that understand respect and give it mutually kind of grow a little bit farther with it. Um, Yeah, I think this movie, for the most part, Goodfellas, has a lot of. I guess there's a lot of different things that I picked up this go around that I didn't never really focus on because I guess I just liked all the cool stuff when I was younger, all the action stuff, and now actually getting the thought into the movie, and getting to see the characters, how the Henry Hill character was, raised this lifestyle, and he whenever he gets in trouble, like we started off with the mailman with the well, actually, it was a school. He gets letters from the school, and they beat up the mailman, so the letters stop coming. But even like that, because the way their little mob business works is they need to have every position moving or every gear going at its finest. And if even the smallest one, like the errand boy, can't do his job, then the whole machine can't work. So then they go and beat up the mailman to make sure the mail doesn't get delivered to the house. And Ben is back. I was talking about just the kind of I guess respect and whatnot, but I came across a little thing from the movie. I'm gonna repeat it. So I was saying I don't like cussing a lot, but it's in the script. So fuck and its derivatives are used 321 times, an average of 2.04 per minute. Joe Pesci says about half of them. The script called for the word to be used 70 times, but much of the dialogue was improvised during shooting, and the expletives piled up. At the time of the film's release, it had the most profanity of any movie in history. As of 2020, it's number 15. The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013, also directed by Scorsese, is number 3.
Yep.
So
Uh,
Scorsese likes to cuss there.
so after Joe Pesci's mother saw the film, she told him the movie was good, and then asked him if he had to curse so much.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's kind of cool. That's what I was talking about when you came in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's kind of great. His mom, did you have to cuss so much?
yeah. Which even whenever I read that, I just saw Scorsese's mom saying that to him. Like that's the person I just have for Joe
It,
Pesci's mom as well. You know,
and but by the way, it's Catherine Scorsese
Catherine
is
Scorsese. Yeah. Okay. Well,
is
yeah.
that so cool thing is the mother's his mother
Are
actually
you are you reading that trivia where she didn't know that his character just killed somebody?
no, what do you got?
Okay. Here, all right. So while directing his mother, Catherine Scorsese, Martin didn't tell her that her character's son had just killed someone and the body was in the trunk of the car. He only told her that his son was home for dinner and to cook for them. James Conway is eating an Irish meal. Interesting.
That's why. Okay, so because the characters are gonna be in there all like Ray Liotta, or I'm sorry, you're gonna have Jimmy, you're gonna have Tommy, and you're gonna have Henry all in there like nervous because they have that body, and then the mom. That's why she's so natural because she doesn't know what's really going on in reality.
To be fair, man, Ray Liotta Henry is the only one that's nervous, and she picks up on it. She's like, "You're not eating much. You're not talking much."
Oh, that's right, that's
You
right.
know, and the other two are just going about
Because
the
they're
normal
normal,
thing.
they're normal
Yeah,
about it.
that's normal for them. But I mean, you really don't see. I mean, Henry beats up that guy, but that's because he was messing with Karen. I mean,
Karen.
I feel like that was yeah. That's what her mom how her mom says her name, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Oh, this is
Well,
interesting. Lorraine Bracco, who plays Karen, her daughter with Harvey Keitel, which I didn't know they were together. Stella plays Henry's daughter, who was too shy to give Polly a kiss when they arrive at his house for dinner. I was wondering if that was planned or if that was like improvised as well.
Though that what the
You
wait,
know, whenever they go to the house, whenever they go to Polly's house and their daughter, like he goes to like, "Hey, what's going
and then
on?"
Polly goes, "Hey, yeah, yeah,
And the daughter's just like, "No, don't touch me." And he's like, "Oh, no kiss for Uncle Polly,"
yeah."
and so that was Karen's actual daughter.
Oh, okay, and that's Harvey Keitel's kid,
Yeah,
Harvey
her,
K.
yeah, Harvey Keitel and her
Well,
apparently have
what
a
I
kid.
was gonna say is that, and that's actually Harry K's. He's been on the show. What do you call it? As an actor, as a character, not as a person. What do you call it? The chemistry between Joe Pesci and Scorsese's mom in Goodfellas is so natural that I feel like they already had a friendship. I was looking it up, but she's not in Raging Bull. I was looking up at her IMDb. I thought she was a
Well,
like
I mean, you have to Matt. You said that her and Joe Pesci have a friendship.
Well, I'm saying in the movie they have such a Tommy and his mom.
Yeah,
Um,
such chemistry that it
such
feels like they've known each other. I mean, they've
yeah,
had to, dude, because you would think that uh, they've been working together for so many years. Obviously, they're gonna meet. He's gonna meet his mom. I would think, you know.
dude. Side note? Did you ever see Mean Streets?
No.
Dude, Mean Streets. That's a Harvey Cartel. That's a 1973 movie, dude. That's where Robert De Niro plays the freaking I don't know. He plays like the was it Vince Vaughn's character from Made? He plays like that kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't
Oh.
talk about, dude. It's really it's pretty crazy. It's annoying how much trouble he gets in. Mean Streets, man, should check it out. It's another good one. I mean, a lot of these movies. So what happened with while I was watching Goodfellas, I was trying not to predict what was coming up next, but then I realized I was getting all my movies confused. I was mixing Goodfellas with Casino. I was also mixing Donnie Brasco. I was
Mm-hmm.
also mixing Blow. I was also mixing. There was a lot of
Well,
like mob
you like those Johnny Depp mob movies.
to
So
Mask, the Black Mask.
here's another one. Martin Scorsese's mother, Catherine, played Tommy's mother. Uh, she and the cast ad libbed the dinner scene. Scorsese's father plays Charles, or Charles, excuse me. Scorsese's father, Charles, plays Vinny, the prisoner who puts too many onions in the tomato sauce
Yeah,
and later murdered Tommy. I didn't realize that either.
yeah. He's
I
the guy
didn't.
where they go to
Okay.
jail.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever he's making the meatballs, like,
Yeah,
oh, you got to put three different types of meat in the meatballs, veal,
yeah. All
pork,
that.
and beef.
That's his
But
dad.
I didn't realize that he was one of the guys that murdered Tommy at the end.
In the very end, there's a shot where Tommy's bleeding out.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I guess I
you
never picked
can't
up.
you don't see his face. You just see the top of his head, and you just kind of put it together.
No.
Yeah. But the reason I was saying I was getting those movies confused was because they all kind of have the same feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that like even like Wolf of Wall Street, I'm like, oh, I bet you it's gonna have that I feel like that too. They all tend to have like. I mean, I'm wondering if Casino needs to be 3 hours long. I feel like Goodfellas is right at the money spot.
I feel like Goodfellas could have been 3 hours. Like Goodfellas is one of those movies that you really don't want to end. Really, I could watch a TV series of Goodfellas like on a weekly
That's
basis
true.
and be just fine. Now, Casino, I got to the point I had to pause it at one point. It was whenever he didn't get his license from the gaming commission and started
Hmm.
a show, and I paused it for a minute. I was like, "There's still an hour left of this movie." You
Yeah,
know, like
that's what I'm saying. That
I wasn't completely mad about it, but all it is Sharon Stone just screwing up every chance she gets, and that's why Casino I think probably could have been shorter, just because it hurts so much to watch.
yeah, I felt like it could have been short, but dude, and I didn't. I was like, when I watched it as a kid, I remember watching it a lot of times, not knowing I was watching a 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
But I was getting into it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy." And I was saying when you stepped away that watching Goodfellas this go around, I picked up a lot of different things. That I guess the first time I watched it, it was more like I was into the like action part of it. All the mob stuff was cool. Now, like knowing about like he had like his side chick. They had two of them, and then that Henry does have like he has a thing for women, but you don't ever really pick up on it. You have to see him do it.
Hmm.
That's like a cool way to tell a story. Also like the way Jimmy is likable, and then as they get older, oh yeah, they get older, you start seeing a lot of their flaws. Nikki gets older in Casino, and they talk about it. It's because he says like he used to be able to take a guy down in one whack, now it takes him
Hmm.
three whacks, and then like so they're starting to show him age. The thing I liked about Goodfellas, the little kids, the girls were the things that you were seeing time passing. That's how you can tell
Yeah.
time was passing because the girls are getting older.
Hmm. And
Um,
also, Paulie gets gray in his hair. You can kind of tell he's looking
he
a little
looks
bit
different, yeah,
older.
from the
Yeah, and
beginning.
and Jimmy too. Like Jimmy kind of gets that as well from the first time you see him
So
until till the end.
so that part where Jimmy's telling Karen to go towards the alley, that part cracked me up. I just laughed because I was he's like, yeah, just go, just like you see De Niro, just go, yeah, right there, go right there. What was he doing? 'Cause I
He
know
was
he's
trying
trying
to
to,
kill her.
but how was he trying to kill her? What was he? So the thing, let me explain. So he gave her what, like $5,000
Yeah,
cash. I think that
I
was
think it
part
was
of,
only I think it was only 1,000.
or $1,000,
Yeah,
whatever. He
still.
gave her $1,000. I think like he gave her cash. So she was supposed to walk in there with that cash. Were they supposed to mug her? Is that
No,
what's the
no,
setup?
she is a liability, bro.
No, no, I'm saying that how was the act supposed to happen? I know they were supposed to kill her, but how
Yeah.
are they gonna kill her? Because those guys were just moving boxes. They weren't even like waiting for her. Like they were actually doing something in there. And then he was telling her to go in there. So I'm in my head, I'm like, what was gonna happen? She was gonna walk in, they were gonna mug her or something because she had the cash on her, or how it was like. It didn't look like it didn't look like they were waiting for her like to set her up. It like out of all the setups in this movie, that setup wasn't really like it was kind of just
Well, it's kind of
you know
like Henry said. Like if I was gonna if somebody was gonna kill me, I wouldn't even know about it. That's how he knew it was a cop. Put your hands up. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So Henry knows the game good enough to know when he
But
needs
I'm
to
talking about
fold.
that scene with Karen though.
I know, but I'm getting there. And so he instills that in Karen to know, like, okay, like she throughout the movie, he trusts Jimmy and Tommy less and less and less.
Yeah. No,
And so, but what I'm saying is like how that was going to happen in my mind is yeah, they're moving boxes, but I mean they still got to do stuff. Like they're workers, they still have to work. But as soon as she comes in, they were yeah, I mean yeah, I would think mugger, probably get her a coat and then kill her. Like they would get her a coat, they would show her a coat, and then she was dead.
no, that's what I'm saying. No, because you. I mean, I don't think Henry has anything to do with that. I mean, even though
Oh
he
God, no, no, no.
no
Henry
no, but what I'm
definitely.
saying, even though he's trained Kara, because she is trained about a lot of stuff, even the throwing away the drugs and whatnot. What I'm just saying is was what I was asking was she supposed to like go in there because those guys weren't ready for it to like mug her or anything. Like she
I
was
think they
just
were. I think they were. I think that Jimmy had set up. All right, I'm gonna take because there's communication with all these guys. I mean,
no,
he's not.
I know. Without predicting, I'm just saying, like with watching it, because the only thing is, because I was like, those guys are just in there. Is she supposed to go? Like, it looks so much like a setup. It feels like the setup, and you know it's a setup, and us, the viewer, knows the setup. But in my head, I was like, what? Like, because he sets her up at the end. It's like
Hmm.
he feeds her, and like, hey, come here, I got you. And then as she's going in there, I'm just like, because her car was right there. Like, she could have gone straight to her car the whole time, and
Yeah.
he was trying to give her dresses. So like the setup to me, I just thought it was kind of like
Okay. Start over again and explain what you're asking because I think I might have missed it.
the part that okay, so he's telling her like she goes go get some dresses, and she tries to go into the building and she
Hmm.
doesn't. So we know it's
Yeah.
a setup because he's taking
Yeah.
her outside. Now as she's walking, it's slowly like you she slowly peek into what's going on in the room because you know she's supposed to go in there. I'm just wondering. Like those guys were literally lifting boxes and moving stuff around. Were they
And
supposed to like kill her, or was it like they were? Those are the guys that were supposed to do the deed. Now was he like giving her the money so when she walked in there they can like mug her? Or was it like or those Jimmy's men? Like I didn't understand. Like
yeah,
if those
those
were
are Jimmy's men.
so because it doesn't like that part is very vague to me because I know he's like trying to kill her, but I don't know if he's trying to make it look normal. Like I don't know those guys or if those were if it was because if you know if somebody was waiting for you, they'd just be sitting there, you know? They'd
No,
just
no.
'cause-
You if the way if they had just kept moving boxes, she would have went right in. It's whenever they stopped. They
and
stopped and looked
they
at
looked
her,
at her.
and then that's when she knew. Like she had a feeling that something was amiss, but that was like
That's
the
what gave it
trigger.
away. See, that's
Yeah,
what okay. So that's the big indication
yeah,
that she's really like she's like oh crap, I've gone too
and
far. I've gone too far into this.
yeah, and also I feel that the guys stopped too because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there is some reservation with killing women, at least a little bit. They're like, I got to do it, but I'm not a big fan of it. So I think that's why they stopped. They realized like, oh, this is coming, and I think that this is I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a setup for Jimmy. They were I think there were coats in there for her to get, just like he had money for her. And even, like you said, Henry doesn't know that that's where she goes. She's just going and trying to. She still trusts Jimmy to a point, or to an extent here, enough to be like, hey, I need money. But it's, yeah, no. Those guys were definitely meant to kill her. It was meant to look however they needed it to. But whether it was trying to get to Henry or just to tie up loose ends, that I don't know. You know?
I think it was just Jimmy really trying to like take out everybody.
Yeah.
Like at that
Anybody
point,
who knew something.
and
Yeah.
that's something I never picked up when I watched it when I was younger. Because even like this scene, because they do a really good scene. It says Robert De Niro wanted to use real money for the scene where Jimmy hands out money because he didn't like the way fake money felt in his hands. The prop master gave De Niro $5,000 of his own money, and apparently he had to. They didn't let anybody leave, so he got the money back.
Well, you know why, right? Because half those guys on set were wise guys.
They're real wise
Yeah,
guys.
there's another trivia where they gave Warner Brothers fake Social Security numbers, all this other stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and also that scene where Tommy is like, "I'm funny how," that was improvised by Joe Pesci. Um, he had had that happen to him earlier in his life, and none of the guys in there knew that that's how he was going to do it. He was like, "Funny how? Tell me how I'm funny." Funny like a clown,
Oh,
and that's why everybody gets real somber, and that's like not acting. That's them actually reacting to something that they had no idea that was going
acting
to
is
happen.
reacting, dude. That's so cool. So Ray Liotta in the scene doesn't know that Joe Pesci
Nope,
is busting his balls, and
nope.
that's sweet.
And that's why you get the reaction from all these other guys that are, because most of the guys in that scene are wise guys, right? Actual
Yeah.
wise guys, and so they're just kind of like, they don't know. They're like, oh shit,
Yeah, that's why
something's,
they go straight to their natural default of just stay quiet and
just stay quiet
get out of the way.
and let it work itself out, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And so, what are you gonna say? Sorry.
no, I just that whole scene. But keep going.
But yeah, man, this, and like I said, with the long shots again, like whenever he first takes Karen on the date too, and they go into the back room and they go through the kitchen and everything. I love that shot. I love like the long one shots where it doesn't cut. You just follow the character all the way through. You know, I think those are so, they're beautiful shots because it's like you're actually following the character. And even I want to know how coordinated that was, because you have the camera and you have people walking in front of it, especially in the kitchen. Like there's one scene, or there's one part of that scene where somebody literally walks right in front of the camera with a crate on his arm. And I was like, I wonder if that was planned, or they just told him to walk around and don't run into the camera, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um, I thought, just that little split second, I was like, damn, that's cool. Like just to capture that natural essence, a natural flow of a kitchen. And another thing too is none of these cooks or chefs. I mean, they kind of look at them, but they don't ever question, who is this person. Uh, I thought that was interesting too. Um, this movie it's so cool. It really is. Like it just has that cool feel to it. You feel like a cool person watching this movie, because you're like, you're in the shoes of Henry Hill, and he's explaining to you why this is such a glorious life. He's like, everybody else who has a 9 to 5, they're schmucks. They don't understand. They don't get it. Like this is, in my opinion, like he's like, this is life. Is pretty much the like YOLO of 1990. Like, we only live once. We're gonna make the best of it. If you're just working, what are you doing, man? This society is meant for just steal. It just doesn't. It just depends on how you want to steal. Do you want to steal legitimately? Do you want to be like a protector kind of thing? Because they even say that Polly is like, he's like the police. He's protecting
that's true.
everybody,
Yeah,
and that's how it worked. You couldn't trust you couldn't trust the police, but you could trust Polly. And that's another thing with that feels different from Casino and Goodfellas, is the trust. You know, Polly's 100% got your back. He tells you, like, if you start dealing with the smack, I can't help you.
yeah.
He tells them straight up.
But
And,
well, he the way he does it, he kind of codes it a little bit. He doesn't tell him like like that. He goes, if you're on that, get off it. and then he hits him, like smacks him in the face,
Yeah.
like just like I have enough awareness. I know exactly. I don't have to talk about it, but you know that I know. So that the wise guy talk.
Yeah, but he's 100% serious of don't be dealing in that shit because it's going to get him locked up. He's about
Yeah.
self-preservation.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not and I don't even think at that point it was like don't do it or don't get caught doing it. It's like that old saying, be good or be good at it. I think at that point Polly was just like just don't do it. Don't It's not worth it. We have good things going. Don't try any of this shit because he was dealing in prison and he even mentions that as like this isn't prison. That was you in there. This is out here. Don't cut it out.
Yeah. Also because yeah, I think he's older, so we've seen that happen before.
Yeah, he even said
So
somebody got popped for. He's doing 25 years. He's gonna die in prison because somebody was running smack behind his back. They finally got something that they can pin him for. That's the war on drugs. Hell, and maybe that's how that started. Is they were trying to lock up all the mobsters and stuff like that, and they knew they were gonna get into it,
I mean,
and that's
for
how.
yeah.
I didn't even think of that aspect of the war on drugs. I just figured it was. I don't even know.
I mean, just the way for Casino, how I mean, I've heard these stories before where the mob is the reason why Vegas is on the map.
Hmm.
That Vegas has always been around, but it wasn't run right. It wasn't run proper. They didn't know how to really do it. And then the fact that when the mobsters came in there, they organized crime, organized it,
Hmm.
and then made it do their own thing, and then they got them out. You kind of see the longevity in Casino, how they kind of do that. Where I mean, both of these stories are told over time, and I know you've seen The Irishman. I haven't seen that, but I know
Yeah.
it's another Scorsese told over a long period of time.
Yeah.
So, well, how long is
It's
The Irishman? Do you know? Is it a 3 hour movie?
Oh, it's like 3 hours and 30 minutes. I think
He really, yeah,
three and
he
a half
stepped it
hours.
up. Damn.
But that one has the feel of Goodfellas. Like you're taking a journey, um, with a handful of people, and I have to say, Joe Pesci's character in that is, I mean, 100% different than his characters in this movie. He doesn't play that wild card in this one. He's like the mob boss in The Irishman. He's like the boss.
Okay, I got you. So
So
now
he's
he went from not being made, then he got killed, then he went to being made, and then
getting
he got
killed.
killed, and now he's the boss, and he
Yeah.
probably it's like
I don't think I think this one Joe Pesci makes it out
yeah, he's not
of the
alive.
Irish. Well, he's in prison, but he makes it out alive. I
The
think. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the character that plays Teddy, Frank DeLeo. Oh, unfortunately, he passed away in 2011. But yeah, he's in Wayne's World. He plays Mr. Sharp or Mr. Big in Wayne's World.
You said Teddy Cicero?
No, yeah, yeah, Teddy, the guy that got Frank DeLeo. He comes out in Wayne's World 1 and Wayne's World 2 as Mr. Big. That's I remember seeing that. I was like, where is he from? I know him, and I was like, it was from that. Also the character, the one that got me that I knew that was kind of I was like they're gonna whack him. I know they are when I was younger, but I just didn't know when was Maury, the guy with the hairpiece.
Yeah.
Did that
Yeah.
guy like you got enough money to make a commercial, but you can't pay me? Like it's like he was kind of like just
Dude, and Maury, man, you just want him to shut up. He's like, dude, you're gonna get killed. Do you not know who you're dealing with?
but okay, so that was exactly, let's talk about that. That threw me off because it's like he never paid him. Jimmy never paid him the 500 grand.
But why would he expect to? Why would he
Because it
expect
was his,
that?
it was his plan. He was the one that came up with it.
Yeah.
So he was
So
the one that came. No, but dude. So if you were to like tell somebody like he's the guy that they didn't know the hunch, they didn't have the hunch. He's the one that brought it. He's the one that he got all the people together. He did everything.
yeah.
I mean, Stag played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He got
Repeat
himself.
offender, by the way.
He got himself killed because they told you the story that he got high and left the truck at the girlfriend's house and they found
Yep.
it. So he got himself killed. Where like, but that was Maury's team. So you don't hear about Stack until that scene. So it's kind of like a little Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
But like okay, so he owes you 500 grand. So he hasn't paid him yet. Like dipping and dodging him. Like how do you like De Niro
He's
has all the money in his pocket.
Yeah, and even
I'm
even
sorry,
Henry
Jimmy.
Henry says, he gave me my tip and I shut up. Henry wasn't expecting any money
But
out of this.
but did you hear that Henry didn't have anything to do with it? That's what he says. Remember, he says He goes, I wasn't expecting anything, because he didn't have anything to do with it really. Where I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying. Maury's the main guy. Was the main one, so that's why I don't
So
even.
Hen was. Do you think that maybe Jimmy was expecting Henry to give Maury a cut of his?
I think I think what I
Do you think
gathered.
Henry was the one who screwed Maury over, and he was just trying to make it seem like he wasn't?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Henry. I think Henry was like, oh
Because
crap, like.
everybody else got a cut. It was just whenever they started being stupid that they started getting
And
whacked.
so that's what I'm saying, because everyone's buying they bought the car, they got the codes, and Jimmy's like getting mad at everybody because he doesn't want, and that's why I mean those scenes I think is what gets everybody killed because
Yeah.
he's like telling them they're
Well,
not
and
fall.
even you know that you have that car scene where that kid walks up to the car and it's you have the blood stained window sticker in there, and those two.
Who was that?
That was one of the guys that oh hell, I can't remember exactly who it is, but he comes to that party
Yeah,
and he's
okay.
like, "Oh, it's in my mother's name." You know, it's like, "Oh, that's not the point, man. You're supposed to lay low." And even was it Cabron? I think his name is.
Yeah.
He comes. He's like wearing a $20,000 coat. Get out of here. He's like, "Come on."
He's one of my
And
favorite
he,
characters.
yeah, dude, and he plays in The Wedding Singer. He's Adam Sandler's brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's in Goodfellas, The Godfather Part Two, The Wedding Singer in New York, New York. I believe he's also on The Simpsons. I believe he plays the mob guy in The Simpsons. Not.
Like the one who doesn't talk, the tight
Yeah,
lips.
I think he's
I don't
in
know.
this.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
I think he's in The Simpsons. If I'm not too
He's
if I'm
probably
not.
in Futurama too, if that's the case. Because you
He's
have
all.
Don Bot and all that. You would
That's
think.
true. I'm
Um,
not finding it on IMDb, but I know I could have sworn. But he only has 52 credits. But yeah, the thing I like about him is he speaks Italian a lot in the
yeah,
movie.
yeah. I know. I was gonna say that too because it's like mumbling in Italian and doing
He
stuff like this in
he's
Italian.
also in Cop and a Half. Did you ever see Cop and a Half?
No, but that's with Burt Reynolds, right?
Burt Reynolds, dude.
Yeah.
My brother used to love that movie. We used to watch it all the time. But yeah, he has some roles here. What was I was gonna put this. So this is now how we got here was because of Joe Pesci.
Hmm.
But look at this. Look at this little treat here. Ray Liotta turned down the part of Harvey Dent in Batman 1989 in order to make this movie.
Yeah, but you know who was Harvey Dent in Batman
Barry
1980?
as a it was Barry no
Billy D.
Billy
Williams.
D. Williams. Let's say Barry D. Williams. Billy D. Williams. Oh yeah, it's cooler than the other side of the pillow. I mean, it's like I thought. No,
He
he
was a
said the
he's Billy D. Williams would have been a repeat offender on here too. Judge Reinhold.
John Reynolds. Yeah, he. I think that's right. He was on Fanboys.
Yep.
I think it looks like Harvey Dent. I mean, Billy D. Williams with Harvey Dent was like at that point. I think would have been a bigger impact. I don't think Ray Liotta was really known. I don't know. What was his first
Well,
movie?
I mean, Ray Liotta as Harvey Dent would have been easier to turn into Two Face as opposed to Billy D. Williams. I always forget that Billy D. Williams is Harvey Dent,
Yeah, because they just give him the name and they don't really focus on it.
and
He's in there.
Ray Liotta has that because Billy D. Williams also doesn't have like that gangster feel about him, and Ray Liotta would have brought that to Harvey Dent.
Well, I mean, hey, baby, you don't gotta be all violent to be a gangster. You could be cool like Billy D, which I hope to meet him in August. He'll be around the area at a con, so I hope they get to get some cool points. So at this point, like Ray Liotta, I think he had already done what 12 things. But he started in 1980, and then it took him till 1990 to get Goodfellas. But before that, he got Field of Dreams, but he has like a very small role in that.
Yeah.
So then he's in the movie No Escape. I like that movie. Did you ever see that one?
Mm-mm. No, I don't think. No, I
Yeah, dude.
haven't.
So he went through this. I remember this little movie stints. I remember watching him in a lot of the Radiola movies, like back to back to back. No Escape, Karina, Operation Dumbo Drop, and then he was in Unforgettable, but also in Turbulence. That one I believe with Drew Barrymore, where he plays like a psycho. They're stuck on a plane.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then he was in Copland. He was a good guy in that one, I believe.
Ooh, I do remember him in a movie called Identity with John Cusack. Did you ever see that one?
Yes, that was a good
That was
one.
a crazy
That
one.
one I had to watch that one twice. So I was like, wait, what? Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays Rhodes. He's Rhodes in that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's some. He's also
Oh
in.
man. So I was looking up the guy who plays young Tommy is his name is Joseph D'Onofrio. I was like, is he
Vincent D'Onofrio's.
Yeah, it said no relation. That's the first trivia bit of Joseph D'Onofrio. Is he's
No
no relation.
relation. Just to let you know, we're not
Yeah,
related.
because
Uh,
he played young Tommy, and then he was in A Bronx Tale. Um, yeah,
Look at this
Ellen
one.
Ellen Barkin was considered for the role of Karen Hill. Oh man,
Imagine.
huh?
But she
Yeah,
was
dude,
in a. She
she
was
was
in
in
a.
something else, wasn't it?
She was
Wasn't
in
she?
Diner too, from
Yeah.
1980,
Oh my
and
gosh.
she was nice in that movie.
Her, I don't know about you, but she just looks like a walking cigarette to me. No offense, Ellen Barkin, but I'm sorry.
Shots fired, bang, bang, bang. I'll stay behind the glass and say she's still very, very beautiful.
Yeah, she has
But she looks like a
she has some new
menthol.
material. Yeah, I think
See.
she had a show on TBS called Animal Kingdom that I think a lot of people enjoyed, but I never watched it.
I don't know when they brought her back in Ocean's 13. I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was very into the Ellen Barkin. I
All
was like,
right. So in both this film, and I'm talking about Goodfellas. Excuse me. This is trivia on Goodfellas. In both this film and Casino, Joe Pesci's character is involved in incidental conversation, background dialogue that has no bearing on the scene, in which he mocks another wise guy for making a bad bet. In this film, he's talking about Frankie Cabron, who had about a bet he had made in the numbers lottery during the scenes in the Bamboo Lounge just before the famous "Am I Funny" scene. Interesting. In Casino, he's mocking Frankie about guessing the wrong odds on a sporting bet just before the scene where Pesci stabs the guy in the throat with a pin. Huh.
hmm.
Interesting. Also Tobin Bell, um, who is the star of the Saw franchise, has 1 second of screen time as Jimmy Conway's parole officer.
Oh, the guy that's Jigsaw.
Yeah,
He's in Goodfellas.
yeah.
Jigsaw. That's where it all started. He got screwed by the mafia, and
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, even like Mike Starr plays Frenchie, the guy from Dumb and Dumber. Guys, 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 mental.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in it. You know, but he's a great like Italian American. I'm assuming
Yep.
character. Is he Italian American? Let's find out. I'm right here.
I would guess so.
Let's see, because he does play a lot of those. Yeah, he's a New York. He was born in Queens, New York. Producer Ed Wood. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. But yeah, I remember him. What is he known for? Yeah, he's got Ed Wood, Dumb and Dumber, Uncle Buck, and Miller's Crossing. Well, a lot of the Coen brothers. Um, what was I gonna? I had this posted up right here. It said Martin Scorsese reportedly didn't want Ray Liotta to have contact with Henry Hill before filming because he had never directed Liotta before and didn't want Hill to influence Liotta.
Yep.
You don't want your actor to see the source so you
That
can
makes sense.
create his
Here
own characters.
here's a little bit of trivia from Goodfellas that we kind of mentioned earlier. Joe Pesci's character kills Frank Vincent's character in Goodfellas, aka Billy Bats. He kills
Yeah.
Billy Bats, and in Casino, Vincent's character
Oh
kills
yeah,
Pesci's character.
yeah, yeah. Because yeah, he plays Frankie. He
Right.
turns it around. Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wait, you killed him in one movie, and the next you're best friends, and then he kills you.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing about friends in the mafia. You better make sure you're staying on the straight and narrow, or it's gonna get a little
the,
bumpy. And that's another thing too is in both of these movies, whenever you have them kind of clearing house of all the younger people, it's always old guys beating them up. Did you notice that?
I saw that. I saw that very apparent in because Casino. I picked up on that
Yeah,
real big.
these are the like Jimmy Conways that made it all the way through that kind of kept
Yeah,
their stuff about them, and the Tommy DeVitos that made it throughout their life without
yeah.
making too much of a rumble.
What
And
it's insane how like even though you're 60 or 70, they'll still whack you. They'll still
hmm
take you out. You
yeah,
know.
oh yeah,
Like they have no remorse. I mean the way they killed Maury, like the way Tommy kills him, just ice pick to the back of the head, and he's all excited. Like I mean that's a hard spot to be in, man. To be Maury, you need to get paid. The guy you gave the guy supposed to pay didn't pay you, and then he kills
listen,
you.
I gotta say, Maury should have known. He should have known. He should. I have no
Was
remorse for Maury whatsoever.
was Maury
He was stupid. He
He
was
wasn't a
doing
maid guy either, was he?
no. He owned a wig shop. No, he was. He probably they probably got with him through Karen, if I had to guess. You know, like no joke. Like they probably Henry probably met Karen because you didn't see him before they were married, right?
No.
No, she probably knew. It's like, oh, hey, Maury. Like there was probably a family friend, and then it progressed into business relations, and then because Maury only has contact really with Henry,
Yeah.
he's going through Henry to get to Jimmy, and he has no connections to Polly, so that's what I'm saying. Like Maury should have. He should have known
Yeah.
better.
Well, he's Italian. I mean, he's into the mob. You know, it's
He's
like
not
he's supposed.
Italian. No, no. I would,
No,
if
I'm
anything.
saying, they're into the what's the Italian mob. So
Yeah,
he's in the mob in the beginning. So I think anything you bring up, you should already know that it's not gonna come back to you. Like it's
yeah.
because they do have the what did you say that Henry and Jimmy were half Italian, so
Irish.
that's
Yeah.
Irish. Was that what kept them alive? Because they consider them full.
Wait, one more time.
I don't know. I think it was some. I think it was Irish. They did say Irish, but
Yeah.
they were half of it. But I think considered them full, and because Tommy wasn't. So the whole setup for Tommy was just to whack him. They were never gonna make him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That whole setup because he killed Billy Bats, a made man. Yeah.
Yeah,
If Tommy hadn't killed Billy, he might have been eventually made. But I mean, even Polly recognizes early on that he's kind of a psychopath.
and yeah,
Um,
they talk about him more until you see it. Where Casino, you kind of already get both at the same time. Where in Goodfellas, you kind of. I mean, it's in the title, Goodfellas. Like, are they good guys or
And see,
like
that's the thing. That's why I feel like Goodfellas is more of a it's Casino is a cautionary tale. Uh, in my opinion, it's like, all right, you're getting into bad business. You're not doing your business right. You have Nikki coming in, screwing up your business, all this other stuff. Goodfellas is more of just it's a. I mean, yeah, it's a cautionary tale too, but it's it's more glamorized than Casino is. Casino's dirty. Casino's a dirty movie. Like it from the start.
yeah,
You feel you don't because whenever you text me earlier after you got done watching, I was like, oh, you feel dirty, don't you?
yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, 'cause that's
and
what.
honestly, that's how I felt after watching it. You have the Sharon Stone character who is just like, oh, if there was a antagonist in Casino, it's Sharon Stone.
Yeah,
I
Ginger.
hated her in this
God.
movie, and it's just like she had to be mentally unstable. She had to have been.
Also you have the drug abuse in both movies where they're the
Yeah,
addicts. That
yeah.
no, it does.
Well,
I
and
mean,
Goodfellas isn't. I mean, with
no,
Henry,
he's
yes,
yes. You see
but
it.
I mean, it doesn't, and it affects him, but not like
No, no,
Ginger.
but I mean, saying it's the same, but it's two different lifestyles too, and it's also male to female. It's
Yeah,
So I will say that the addiction that I caught on Ginger this go around, I was like, man, but I gotta say, watching it all those years, like I didn't like hate Ginger, but then now I understand, like it sucks, dude, because could you catch on that what's his name, good old Jimmy Woods, James Woods plays.
Lester Diamond.
Lester,
Oh,
Dude, come on, Lester. And then she says, I met him at 14. So
he groomed her.
he groomed her, dude. So
Yeah,
that's the whole
he's
thing.
literally a pimp. He is a
Yeah.
pimp,
And this is one of those prize pieces I'm going with
and
that
you almost hate that Ace falls in love with her. Like if he hadn't met her, if he hadn't propositioned her with marriage, I feel like a lot of this stuff would not have
well,
happened.
the crazy thing is the fact that he gave her the box. Like I didn't
I
catch that.
know,
That's
dude.
like with no like he gave her the whole box. Like he gave it to her. Like that is that
Can I
you have.
trust you? He just asked, "Can I trust you?" And he even says like this was a gamble. Like, no, man, you should have just you shouldn't have done that. And even the banker's like, "Are you sure you want to give her sole
I got to step
custody of
away
this
real quick.
property?" Yeah,
Hold.
yeah, no. The banker even asked Ace, like, "Do you want to give her the entire like? If she's the only one that's gonna have the key to this box, that's it." Um, so yeah, Sharon Stone in Casino played it. She plays Ginger, and she just does a great job of being someone that you can just hate in that movie. In Goodfellas, I don't really hate any of the characters. I don't feel like any of the characters bring out enough bad to really be like, I don't like this character. I can't sympathize with this character. What I was saying, CJ, is that in Casino, I just hate the ginger character, right?
Yeah.
In Goodfellas, I don't have a character like that. I don't have a character that I can't, and not necessarily sympathize with. If there was anybody, it would be Tommy. Tommy's the one that I really can't get on board with. But everybody else, like Jimmy, Henry, even Polly. Polly doesn't come across as a bad guy. You
No.
know, none, and that's I think that's where you get the name too, Goodfellas. I mean, none of these guys feel like they're. First off, they don't feel like they're doing anything wrong.
Now they're just
That's
living the life they want to
they're
live.
living the life they want to live. You know.
I'll say this, like that was one thing I noticed that when I finished watching Casino, I go, okay, well, Casino has enough characters for you to actually attach yourself to, where Goodfellas has way too many characters, where it's more of just a telling of a story. Where I feel Casino actually makes you get attached to it. You do with Ace, you do end up wanting him. I mean, he does a good job. De Niro does as making like charming and sly, and you're rooting for like a villain the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I don't even see Ace as a villain because he's trying to go legitimate. It's just the mafia that is, or it's Nikki that's holding him back.
No, I mean that whole like he didn't have a card. He didn't have the card because they said they don't look it over. Though, Nikki is his Ginger. Ginger is his. What I got with Nikki and Ace is that it's the tale of the same story just told differently. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's Ace's version because I never picked up on that with Nikki. Like he was actually doing his own thing on the side. He
Yeah.
just they don't just like it. You see him doing
Well,
it. He's
he
going through.
had to because he got kicked out of the casinos,
Hmm.
and that's why I don't feel like that's why I think Ace is trying. He's trying to legitimize crime, but he's. I mean, it's almost like you know how stock market's gambling, right? Like that's I think that's his mentality of the casino is like this is legal crime, and he's trying to make the best of it. Okay,
Yeah.
because like gambling everywhere else is illegal, but right here, I it's legal, so I can work within the confines of the law. Now, does he make mistakes with not with the county commissioner and everything like that? Yeah, he should have folded. Let's be real. He should have backed down a little bit. He could have given that guy a job, just like, all right, here's what I need you to do. I need you to sit in this room and don't do anything. That's all he
Yeah.
had to do. He could have paid this guy. You're making how much money? At this, you're making how much, and you can't just have some guy sit in a room and do nothing. Really? That part just did not make any sense to me, especially somebody who's a businessman
Yeah.
who understands like he's even telling Nikki this entire time like this is how this works. This is how this works. And then he goes and does something like that. It's like, it's a little counterintuitive to what you were saying before there, sir.
Well, yeah.
Your pride's going to let you um do that. I mean, and to be fair, he has a valid point. He's either too dumb or he was in on it. Like, and either way, I don't need somebody like that in my casino. You're absolutely right. But if this dude is constant, he's literally given him every opportunity. He even says, like, yeah, he's a stupid kid. Whatever, man. I just need him in this building. I need him to have a job. I need him to sustain his family. That's all he's looking for. Hell, J- um,
Or he even
uh,
tells them like, Can you give him another job? We create him
yeah,
another job.
yeah. I mean, he could have been like, you know what? He doesn't even need to come to the casino. I will just give him a stipend a week. He doesn't even need to work here. Doesn't even need to come in. That he should have done better at negotiating something there. You know, um,
You know
so
who the
that's.
actor was, right?
I feel like he was in the Beverly Hillbillies, but I could be wrong.
No, he had a show. It's called The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs.
Oh,
He would watch it. You would watch. He's kind of like a side by side by himself, I guess. He just kind of would talk about movies and just as a big cowboy, kind of like the cowboy character he plays in Casino.
hmm.
Big guy, about 6'4", 6'5". I could have met him in 2019, but his he had to go somewhere else. He had to go shoot a podcast, and he was already like he's a big fan guy. So what happened was the fans that had him there had kept him there 15 minutes delayed, and then as my turn, he's like, I gotta go. I was like, ah, that's okay. Like take off. but he's a big in the horror scene. He's really big. But yeah, that character that he plays, that like I mean that's really that's so crazy how they cancel him with the like the votes. Like they just like right away they don't even like give him a chance.
Nope. And like I said, he should have had the foresight to know that was going to happen. Even and especially with those, I thought that was a really funny scene. It's like the FBI ran out of gas watching
Oh,
watching
the
Nikki,
airplane. Yeah.
and I mean that really hurt him too. I think if they hadn't seen that, he probably could have been a little bit better off. Maybe not much, but a little bit. And
He got cancel cultured right real fast. They
oh
didn't
yeah,
appeal or nothing. He
no.
got canceled.
Well, that's
Um,
that. Yeah, I mean that's like I said. That's just him not doing good business, and that's on him.
yeah, but I mean well, taking the liability of that person, this guy's messed up multiple times. He even tells them like it's either
Oh,
you're in
I'm
on it.
sorry, sir. Yeah, well, and I like I said, I totally agree with his stance. But as soon as that guy came in there, is like, hey, I need you to hire him back. Is like, all right, well, he could have
But
negotiated, man.
he doesn't know that. I mean, he doesn't know these people. They're barely getting to know each other. He's like, how much flex do you actually have? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
but he makes it apparent throughout the whole movie, like, okay, this is what you need to do to be legitimate. This is what you need to do here. Like, it was just a pride thing at that point. It was a total
Yeah,
pride
that's
thing.
what I'm saying. Yeah, well, no, obviously, yeah, no, because even like when I mean, he doesn't take it too offensive, but like when he's telling him, when you guys come over here, you think you're home and you're not home. Like,
No,
it's
but
more.
he's telling him the truth. Like I said, it's absolutely fact.
No, I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, no, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say that like the whole time because he does it twice, and I'm like, just yeah, find a job for him. Even when the guy suggests to him,
Hmm.
but he doesn't do it, and it's not like a. It is one of those things that does mess with him, that does come back and ultimately like derail him. But at the same time, I'm like, how do you know? Like, how do you really know that this? You've given this guy multiple times. You know you're supposed to keep him on here, but he's getting to the point where I guess it's also showing like everything's getting to him.
Yeah.
That everything's just kind of
Well,
jumping.
even what was he? They're eating the blueberry muffins. He's like, make sure there's an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. He's like, do you know how long that will? Like, I love that chef's face. Like, do you know how long that will take? Like, it just looks like he's so beaten down already.
That is
Just like,
funny because it is that got me because I was like one's full of blueberries, so it just look like a giant blueberry, and then the other one has nothing, and it's
mhm.
like, well, no, you should have an even amount. What's going on? And the chef's just like, like, I mean,
Well,
I do.
and that's the thing too, is like he even says like I have 1,000 people working for me and I got to keep eyes on all of them. But that's the thing, man. Like this casino, like you have to know that these dealers, like everybody that's skimming them, they know how much money is coming into this place. And no, it was that's an interesting fact.
Yeah, the producers said that one of the most difficult things about filming this movie was finding people who would tell them how to cheat in the casino. So the research and
Yeah,
there's
they
no
don't want to get
internet.
caught, man. They're still doing it.
They're that now just saying there's no internet, there's no library for this. This is something you'd have to learn on your own or some street smarts or something. So yeah, I mean, I could see them trying to like because there's not really a whole lot of like
But you could see where a casino run by the mafia, especially like in Goodfellas, where you see Jimmy not giving Maury his
the
due,
money.
right?
Yeah,
So you have to assume that all these dealers, all these people that are bringing in all this money, and they don't feel like they're getting their due, they're gonna have a little, they're gonna slack, they're gonna start skimming, they're gonna start, that chef man,
well, but
he was
even
just trying to do
yeah.
his damn job. He's probably not even getting paid what he thinks he needs to get paid. He's not getting taken care of. The only people that are getting taken care of are the ones handling the money. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna do a mob strike, a union against the mob. Get
Exactly.
together, get together. I mean, he what was I gonna say about that? Like, well, when you brought up the chef, I'm like, I don't think he's on the payroll. I think he's on the actual payroll. I don't think he's on the mob payroll.
No, no, but he works for them, and the mob is gonna. They're not gonna.
Well, that's what they were saying. He even talks about it, like leakage. He explains what leakage is. It's just gonna happen. You can't. So then they even try to get that guy to go in and micromanage, and it doesn't work.
Hmm.
So it's like it turns it's a real job. How do you figure it out? How do you go around? It seems like Nicky's just taking in this movie. Like I feel like he's just taking from everybody. And I mean, even like his brother has that restaurant, so it seems like they have like their little. It feels like Nicky's doing his own thing, just the small at the smaller level where Ace is doing it on the bigger scene, but he's not even doing the stuff that Nikki's doing. Like he's actually working. He's
Yeah.
actually going in there, and Nikki's kind of just taking over. I mean, that scene is kind of funny with that like I guess I don't know what she is, a lady of the night or that tall drink of
Yeah.
water.
He's
And
just
then
talking to her and
and
just
the pictures of the car.
yep.
Like I think that was definitely to like for the film to let you know that Ginger was going to be doing that soon because it's
Yeah.
like what he likes, you know.
Well,
So
and I guess it wasn't until this go around that I picked up like I knew she was a hustler and everything, but I guess I just didn't realize that she was like an escort kind of
yeah,
like it just never really kind of dawned on me.
well, because the
Um,
pimp, you know, Lester.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man. She's out in Vegas and he is what he's in L.A. Is that right?
I guess so. It's
Yeah.
also Sharon Stone encouraged Erica Von Tegan, the child actress who played her daughter Amy, to annoy James Wood constantly. So that's why that scene
Oh,
it looks so
and
natural because they were really like going at it. So like
yeah.
jokingly, you know,
I
but
like I
like
said, if there was an antagonist in this movie, it's Sharon Stone. I hate her in this movie. Just she does a good job of making me not like her. She's a
yeah,
great
yeah,
actress.
that's a good performance
Yeah,
when you can't tell the difference.
like
Uh,
and then just the way she just kind of comes like ugh, just comes back into bed after calling him every name in the book, and he just takes her back. I mean, it's just like ugh, it breaks your damn heart too. Like he just can't he I can't quit you. You
I
know.
wish I could quit you.
And so
Um,
yeah, man, it just it, that's this Casino is like a gut wrenching movie in that aspect.
yeah,
And Goodfellas is just
it's more about action, I
it
think,
is,
if
man. It's a
anything.
fun
Yeah.
like as much as like this isn't gonna end well, it's still a fun ride to go on. Where Casino is just like, ugh, it just like it hurts to watch it. Just ah, you know what I'm saying?
Because
Like
I think by the time this point in Scorsese's career with Casino, he kind of gets you with the intellectual part of your brain where you have to think about not intellectual. What I'm trying to say is like the more of the it's the plain sight. The answers are right there. You just got to pick up on it. Where Goodfellas is like boom, boom, boom. Check this out. I need you to see this. Boom, boom. Where Casino, there's just a lot of layers of sprinkle that you can pick up on.
yeah,
Like I said, I didn't even pick up on that with Lester and Ginger. Where he got her when she was so young. That's when
yeah,
yeah. So that was a big part of. Now I'm like, oh, that's why Ginger's all messed up.
hmm
She grew up messed up. And you kind of, I mean, it's one thing for us to assume or from, but then actually like you can put that piece in there, and then also where she's like she goes back to Nikki every time. That's just to piss him off, you know, to piss off Ace. Like that's definitely like a flex move of her own that she's
yeah.
doing. I mean, the other thing I wanted to talk about of a Goodfellas was there's a young version, a young Michael Imperioli, the guy from
Oh, he's in
Sopranos.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
Sopranos.
Spider, and he gets shot in the foot one scene, and then he gets shot, and then that's where I kind of really despised Tommy, where it's just like you guys, the guy told you to you're messing with him, and you just shot him in the foot, and then you're making fun of him, and then you should kill him, and he's a kid. Like that's kind of like that's exactly where they drew the line, you know. And
Well,
then
and that's the difference between Tommy's way of doing things and the older guy's way of doing things. Tommy, I think I can't remember if they say it in Casino or in Goodfellas, but they say that he's like I think it was in Casino, so he was like a cowboy in the Wild West.
yeah,
But he's like that in Goodfellas too. Like he even says it. He's like, well, what's that guy's name? He's like Oklahoma Kid, and then he starts shooting.
yeah,
And yeah, man, like you you kind of see that generational gap where Paulie is respected and he garners respect and he does it through helping people, through protection, through protecting people, whereas Tommy garners respect by you don't want to fuck with Tommy. You know, that's how it's not out of respect, it's out of fear.
well, yeah. I mean, but the thing also too, Paulie doesn't have to flex or show off where Tommy's doing it, where he's like showing off, and you pick up his both Tommy and Nikki have a weapon of choice, which is a cell phone. I was a it's a phone handle or a phone
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he beats up that guy in
The
Goodfellas with
cowboy.
the cow, yeah, and
Or
then
no,
he
in Goodfellas, it's
it's Don Rickles hits him with the you laughing at
oh
me.
yeah,
Don Rickles
Well,
is in the
that's in
movie
Casino. Yeah.
Casino. Yeah, and Goodfellas, he
Um,
hits the other guy on the phone. Like he hits up hitting. Oh, because the guy, no, he hits a lot of people with the phone. Now I think about it.
he hits the cowboy. He hits
Don Rickles'
Don
character,
Rickle, Billy Sherbert.
Sherbert, and then
And
he
then
hits somebody. He hits
who's he?
somebody in Goodfellas. I can't remember. He does hit somebody in Goodfellas, but man, I gotta remember it. It says Don Rickles said of his character Billy Sherbert is a combination of guys I've known. It didn't take a great amount of concentration on my part because I grew up in this town. So
Oh, he
that
grew
was
up
a
in Vegas.
yeah. I guess that
Oh,
was a good thing for him to like to be part of this movie because he's
yeah.
I
I
love
always
Vegas movies.
figured Don Rickles as a a comedy guy. I never would have, you know what I'm saying? I never think of him as synonymous with gangster
Vegas,
movies. Yeah,
uh,
or yeah, Vegas at all. You know.
Vegas, yeah. I guess because
Well, I guess that
he's
makes sense because you would have him kind of coming up and being a comedy act and stuff like
yeah.
that.
You got to be around. Back then, there's like I said, nothing really TV back then. When he was around, he had to pick it up from the actual from the stars or the actual stage, and
Yep.
then you take it. And the TV comes around. He was also known for doing like Johnny Carson and those kind of like stand up. What else did I have here? I did. Oh yeah, this was a cool little trivia. The costume budget for the film was $1 million. Robert De Niro had 70 different costumes throughout the film. Sharon had 40. Both were allowed to keep their costumes afterwards. Wow, wow.
Um, so you kind of, I don't know whether Scorsese did it to kind of emphasize that Ace wasn't as, and this could just be me looking too deep into something, but Ace has a lot of pink outfits, and his even his headboard in his house is pink, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that Ginger had a good chunk to do with decorating and stuff like that. But do you think they did that to kind of show like he's not as intimidating as the other guys?
Or masculine, a different type of masculinity.
Yeah, he
Like
has.
you even see the scene where he gets up from the desk right before the meeting with the cowboy guy, and he's wearing the blue, like all that underwear stuff. Like it's like socks, is all.
Yeah, he doesn't have his pants on at his desk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's just there with his pants off. So you see that part. Um,
What do you think that's just so he can be comfortable? Do you think that's because he has showgirls coming in all the time? What do you think that is?
Probably some. I mean, you don't really pick up on that. He's like that. I mean, you assume that, but you can't pick up on it. It's not like
Well,
in
in
Goodfellas where they have
Ginger
like
says it. Ginger says it like one time. It's like, "Oh, who'd you have in your car before you came over here?" She says just one time, kind of in passing.
but I mean, it also could be before they got married too. So
No, no,
like,
this was like deep into the movie. She says
but no,
this
no, but I mean,
whenever he
but I'm
goes
saying
over to Leaning
but I know,
Tower.
when he says it, but I'm saying that she could have been talking about way before in my car, before I was in there. Before she was the main one in the seat. It could have been before they got married. Um, it could be something like so I'm saying. Like, it could have been like, I mean, that's like but you don't pick up on it on Casino like you do in
Yeah,
Goodfellas,
no,
where Henry Hill tells you like Fridays was for the girlfriends,
yeah,
and then see it, and even at that, Karen, who has like the she gets put through shit with Henry Hill because
yeah.
she's let me sneak this in for you, let me sneak this in for you, like for her. And Karen Hill is played by Lorraine Bracco,
Hmm.
and she what do you call she has a great performance. She also looks like a Zoe Deschanel a little bit. She
Yeah,
has a
yeah.
Zoe Deschanel look in here where I was like, hey, that could pass her. But she does a great performance as the Karen, and also like the scenes where she has to do stuff for Henry Hill where Ginger doesn't really do anything. And that's the thing I think it sucks because you see Ginger as not even as a good mother. She ties up her daughter,
Yeah.
and that's that whole addict thing. And you don't really pick up that Karen's an addict or maybe she's addicted to drugs, but you do.
She's definitely doing the cocaine,
She's
and
doing the code, yeah.
that's what I was going to ask you too. Is the first girlfriend Janice? You know, she finds out, she's pissed, all this other stuff, and then Sandy she knows about.
Debbie Mazar.
Do you think that she knows that Henry's dipping in there, and she's just like, oh, this is part of the life? Do you think that she's just kind of given up at that point?
Karen?
Um,
Or
yeah,
was it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Karen.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think she gave up. I think she was I think she was over it.
Yeah,
Damn, everybody's
I
trying to get a
because
hold of me right now.
yeah,
It's
because
like,
what was it? she's doing coke with Henry at that point. Like
Yeah,
she's not. I feel like she's not as bad as Henry because I mean Henry just looks like a ghost, dude. Like you can tell. And even whenever she goes to see Jimmy, she says, "Oh, going to something sobered him up. I think going to prison sobered him up, but it didn't. Like you see him in the next
he's
scene.
yeah he says that to Paul,
Yeah,
to probably to like kind of give him
Re-
that sense of like I'm here. Yeah, I'm cleaned up. Look, I'm out. But he was lying.
you know,
Also, the names were all with all the same names, Maria, and then the guys' names were either what were the names like all the kids, Pete or and Goodfellas when Karen meets the family,
uh,
all the nephews and everybody have the same name.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
for like Pete or Paul or whatever.
Tony or something like
Tony,
that. Yeah,
yeah, and also the brother who plays the brother is Kevin. Is it Corrigan?
yeah. Is he a repeat offender? I
I'm
feel like he
trying.
is
I feel like he repeat offended somewhere with us, and I was trying to go through it and I couldn't find it. But I think
because
he
I
it.
feel like we were talking about him. Let me
I
see.
think that's what might have been. And through conversation we had, we brought him up,
Yeah.
but now he's on the list. So if he repeats an offense, we're gonna find him.
I'm gonna dig through real quick.
The-
I know you are too, but we're
His birthday is March 27th. So
hey.
he does all like a lot of those like his True Romance, Pineapple Express, The Departed. He does like a lot of those mobs, informant, weasel guy. Because I think, and also he plays. I think he's in Copland, if I'm not mistaken. He also plays
Let's
like
see
a
here.
one of those guys, like Mickey the Weasel or something.
Yeah, Henny Youngman. Have you ever heard of him before? Goodfellas. He
I
was the
don't think
guy that
so.
was doing one-liners at the
Oh,
at the club.
nah, I don't.
That was another good scene that I really enjoyed. Was like you hear him doing one-liners, and then you see them going to the airport and getting the money while that's going on too. I that's what I really like about both these movies. Is just like the how how it's just the scenes, man. Like you see the scenes, and it doesn't. You don't have to have dialogue in every scene.
Yeah,
You know, every big scene that they have, and Henny Youngman plays Henny Youngman, and then he Jerry Vale plays Jerry Vale. Um, I think that's kind of cool. Let's see here, Kevin Corrigan, Michael Hill. Let's click on his. But yeah, man, both these movies are they're fantastic in in their own special way. And like I said, just how how they make you feel is crazy different in my opinion. I like I said, I watched Casino and it was just irritating, whereas Goodfellas is just a good time. Long
I think the thing with casino is it's actually, and that's what I caught on this thing. It's like literally is the working of the ins and outs of a casino because there's parts where
yep.
they said they don't care because they were just winning the money.
Mm,
Casino is a harder watch, not just longer, but it's a harder to watch because I feel like it's a little bit more. I don't want to say modern, but the way it's told is a little bit more modern. Where Goodfellas, you just stick with it. I just feel like Casino has way more layers now at this point. Just go around watching it and being like, damn, there are a lot of layers on this one. Just little things you pick up on there. But I also feel like if you watch Goodfellas first and then you go watch Casino, I feel like it you can get a little bit for even though they're two different stories, a backstory of the like you feel like okay, well, how does Joe Pesci play Nicky over Tommy? You know, how does Ace differ from Jimmy? How you know? It's like there's something here where you can connect it.
yeah.
I mean, they also you have the younger guy point of view in Ray Liotta's character Henry Hill and
Hmm.
Goodfellas, where in Casino it's just kind of a story being told, and you have it told by Ace, you have it told by Ginger, and you have it told by that Frank for a little bit for one part,
Yeah.
Frankie, and then
Does
Nikki.
Ginger have any narration in Casino?
Yeah, she has a
Just a little bit,
little bit. So it's like but it's the story that's being told to
because
keep the story keep
Karen
this.
has a little bit in Goodfellas too. Like, oh, whenever I first met Henry, you know, like they go back and forth with Henry and her, and is does does Tommy get a voiceover in Goodfellas?
Man, I don't know.
See, that's the crazy thing is, man, you kind of forget who gets.
Yeah, because good, like I said, Goodfellas has just so many characters in it,
Yeah,
where Casino has you more attached, much more grounded to kind of a time. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Goodfellas feels like a time where Casinos actually feels like a story, a narrative you can follow with one or two people at the helm.
well,
I mean,
then
what's up?
Goodfellas is told over what 30 years, and then Casino's told over 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need time, and I guess with these movies, you just need time with them. Because even like I clicked on Martin Scorsese's IMDb, and like his top four is Taxi Driver, Mean Streets, Goodfellas, and The Age of Innocence. And I'm telling you, man, Mean Streets is pretty damn good movie.
yeah.
Taxi Driver is just another like out of your like it's Taxi Driver just feels like all that stuff just everything came in at a good time for that movie. Like everything all
I've
at
never
once.
seen Taxi Driver before.
Man, it's another like dark movie like that. Um,
I know. Was it you talking to me? There's nobody else here, so you must be talking to
yeah,
me.
and it's younger Robert De Niro, so you get to see a lot more energy.
And that
You get
has
this,
Jodie Foster too, right?
yeah, young Jodie Foster. I want to say
Yeah.
she's like 13 or something like that in that movie,
Yeah.
and that's why she does she's a really good job as an actress. Yeah, that's a darker movie. Man, Mean Streets, I mean, and Scorsese, it's just that one gets you with like that best friend feel. Like if you have a best friend that lets you down a lot, you'll get that one.
Mean Streets. You said, is that the one you're talking about?
What's up? Hold on,
I
I
said
gotta.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. Um, no, Casino, man. Like I said, I've been saying it for since we started here. Uh, it just it ugh, it's almost kind of cringy to watch. Um, whereas Goodfellas, it's just that it feels like a fun time. You go along for this ride, and
Uh, well,
you know what I'm saying. It's
Well, I think I don't feel. I mean, I think Casino does have those. If you must cringe moments, just cringe. But I wouldn't say it's like it's. I still think between if you compare Casino to Only God Forgives still gonna take that title um, for like cringe worthiness. But
oh yeah, well yeah, okay,
but
yeah.
I'm saying I'm watching Casino and I feel like it's the same thing as Goodfellas. I feel it's the same feel. It's the same exact. There's more of a because I mean Goodfellas they hit women and they abuse them wrong, and Casino same thing. Mine added a little bit more like I guess prostitution to the thing, so you get a little bit more of the women doing certain things. But I
Yeah.
mean they're both the same caliber of like violence. They're both the same caliber of treating.
I would almost think that Goodfellas, I feel, has more violence. Up until the end of Casino, like
Yeah,
that one's a pretty violent death.
well, yeah, they save it for the end, the Nicky
Yeah.
and his brother's death, and
Hmm.
at one point, like you said, when you paused it, and you said there was like an hour left. The time I paused it in Casino, it was 20 minutes left, and I was like, I know they still got to kill Nicky. Did they kill him at the very? I don't remember. I thought he died like,
Yeah.
and then I was like, no, they saved it for like the very end, where he got him, where they get him and his brother, and then and I'll say when I watched it when I was younger, yeah, it was way more terrifying. But as I watched it as an adult, and I hadn't seen that movie in a long time, watching it, I was like, it's gruesome, but it's not as bad as I remember it being.
Yeah, I would say Goodfellas has way more violence than Casino.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe not even way more, but it has noticeably more violence than Casino. Now, Nicky's character in Casino is, or yeah, Joe Pesci's Nicky in Casino is comparable to Tommy. They're almost the same character. The only difference, like you said, is Nicky's made and Tommy's not. That's really the only difference.
yeah, and that shows you that
Another thing I was trying to figure out, um, in Goodfellas, is Nicky married, or is Tommy married?
on Goodfellas, I don't think so because his mom's always telling him you need to settle down.
Yeah, but there was that one
No,
oh
because then also
gosh.
too, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. There's that scene in Goodfellas where Henry and Tommy are in the car, and Tommy's trying to get him to go on the date, and I was looking at that scene like, you know what? That's like when I mean Tarantino's Pulp Fiction when they say like just people having a regular conversation. And in Goodfellas, there's a lot of regular conversation going down.
Yeah.
It's not like, there's not a lot of like, there's some parts that are just like conversation for conversation where it felt like that in Pulp Fiction where they said that was the main thing. Where I'm looking at Goodfellas like, well, I think there's a lot of parts in here, and Goodfellas predates Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
All right. So let's see if this is her. Because there's a character in here. Yeah. Her name is Rosie in Goodfellas. All right. And you see her talking with Karen. Whenever Karen first goes over to the house, and she's talking to all the wives, and she said her head swimming and stuff like that, like she was just dizzy after she got talking to him. And you see Rosie in there, and then later on Tommy is like talking to Rosie, and she's like, "Oh, he always needs to know where I am. He's always, doing this and that." And that's why I was like, "Is Tommy married to Rosie?" And I just don't know because
oh, that's true. It gets a little confusing there. No, I don't think he
yeah,
is because
could,
even at the
but
very end,
who
his
is
mom.
she married to? Because I mean, I'm looking through IMDb right now, and some of these women, like, they're literally Frenchie's wife, Cicero's wife, Tootie's wife. Like,
Well, then
and
yeah,
then
then she's
Rosie is just Rosie. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So I don't think she's married, and then that'd be someone else's wife.
But
And I
why
don't
is she
think
there with the wives?
that doesn't. I mean, to that point, I mean, I did think they're just hanging out. It's just like the like a local girl. 'Cause she's also younger too. They're all older, and she's one of
Yeah,
the
well,
younger
maybe
ones. So
maybe she would
she
maybe
could be a
maybe she
daughter
was
or a niece, or she
Tommy's.
can be. I don't think she's related to anything to do with Tommy other than that conversation, right?
I Yeah, maybe she's Tommy's girlfriend or
I
something
don't. I
like
mean, they don't
that.
clarify that.
Yeah,
They
that's
never.
why I
They
was.
don't. They don't ever say he has a wife, and his
And
mom's
I
always.
mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, his mom would know if he settled down. Like, she would be at the wedding. She would. But then again, what if she's just saying like, settle down, quit going everywhere, quit trying to find a girlfriend? Because I mean, even though in those scenes, like, we even read the trivia that Scorsese didn't tell his mom that they just killed somebody. You have to know. You have to assume that his mom knows something because she knows that he's getting made, right?
I mean, he doesn't really tell her.
Yeah, but
Um,
she's like,
I
"Oh, you look
mean,
so
I
nice.
mean
This is a good
that.
occasion." Like,
Well, I mean, it'd be. She doesn't tell her exactly, but she knows it's something important because I doubt his mom knows stuff about them. Maybe she knows a little bit, but I doubt she knows anything about the mob. And I think with that, I mean, even that scene, like it shows
but
he's
dude,
like,
he's full-blooded Italian, bro. He's getting made.
dude,
And
you're
she doesn't know anything about the you can't I can't believe that somebody is that blind of an eye. I'm sorry.
well, I mean, they're not. I'm going, like I said, once, like I've said in multiple episodes, I go by what they're giving us. And at one point, I don't see her ever like knowing anything outside of Tommy. And the fact that she is happy to see him, and that's a big point because he's supposed to be made, and I mean, he gets killed. And but there's no point where she even tells him at that point. I think doesn't she say like you need to settle down?
Yeah, but that could be in reference to well, yeah,
Dude, I don't know,
yeah.
man. Yeah, I'd say let it go because
I'm typing it into Google right now. Is
dude.
Tommy and Goodfellas married?
Let's see what it says. Because I this Elena Douglas, she was in Stare of Echoes. That's where I remember her from. But even like, I mean, it says Susan, Angie, and Rosie in that part where you're talking about Tommy's girlfriend at Copa, Frenchie's wife, Tootie's wife. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but there's
Let's
also
see
look
here.
because they also give Mrs. Carbone a name as Mrs. Carbone, Maria Michaels, and that's because what's his name, Frank Carbone? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that because he actually there's an attachment there with a character that has a name. Did they ever say Rosie in the movie?
No, so okay. It says Angelica. It says all right. Whenever I type Tommy was married to Angelica Cookie Spin Spin Spioni. Tommy DeSimone was always drove around a brand new car and more expensive clothes, and he and
Are you reading about the real
Angela.
one, right? You're reading.
No, well, I mean, it says Tommy was Angela Hill told. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I think I am talking about the real one.
Yeah, I mean, they could have put it in the movie, but I doubt it.
Who was the real Tommy? Okay, so that one. No, that's not it. Yeah, they could have made it. Oh, okay, Tom. Okay, cool. They have a mafia wiki fandom on Tommy DeVito. Let's see if they have.
I mean,
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
you're
just kind of
going
going down.
way out there, dude.
Well, I'm just
Um,
I'm just curious because I saw that scene and I was like, are they married? And that's
no, I
why I was
mean,
gonna.
I'm just saying you're going way out there for something that is we're talking about the movie, and in the movie itself, I don't they don't ever really put that in there. I mean, she's a great
Damn it! I
actress, but
want to
I
know,
see.
CJ.
I don't know. I
Want
feel
to
like you're
know.
digging a hole that we're not supposed to be digging because there's nothing in the hole. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. Remember the holes in the casino in the desert. You don't want to find holes when you go out. So that's what, so I'm over here. It takes 45 minutes.
Okay.
You know, we
Yeah.
gotta dig the hole
Yeah.
now. It would have
Um.
been in that sort of metaphor that they're saying that it would be for us to dig the hole ahead of time. So we I guess do research ahead of time. But
Yeah. I got you.
that was
I get that was a good metaphor. I like that.
the
Um.
holes you're digging holes
Yeah.
in the Vegas. I
So
mean,
if,
he
if
was
we if I start going down a rabbit hole from here on out on this show, we're gonna say digging holes.
digging holes.
Digging
Well, I
holes you
mean,
should. Well, you're digging holes that you should have dug before. Um,
yeah.
so the
I
reason
mean,
Billy Bats looks so different is because he's fatter.
oh, you think so? Yeah, I thought
No,
it's because he
I
had
just
more.
saw a picture and he has a mustache and he's fatter.
Like I knew it was him. Like I could recognize the face, but he okay. So let's talk about this about like your Judge Dredd, Fergie. You wanted to come out rougher. This dude came out of prison fatter 6 years later.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
this is how you want your this is how you want
Well,
your
all right. No, 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 no. Don't you can't get me there because you saw how they ate in prison. Don't give me that. Don't try.
the
Don't
sloth.
try. Yeah, these are
So
these
it,
are these are no, no. These are gangsters in prison. Don't try. Don't try
oh,
that, CJ.
so it's backwards, huh? This guy, the fatter you get, the more respected you are, or
I
like it
mean,
what's it? What,
that seems to be the case for most mafia
and they said it Mr.
mafiosos.
Deeds. Then they said it Mr. Deeds. Like the fatter you are, the more chicks you get.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, look at Paulie. Look at Tootie. I mean, look at these
yeah,
these
dude.
guys. They're comfortable, so they're getting bigger.
As we're talking about casino and talking about shaving some time down, I think that I don't know if I would, is that the scene where him playing the TV host Ace? Is that do you think that's a big part of the movie?
No, I think with it being 3.5 hours or almost 3 hours long, I think Goodfellas probably had such a good return that they were like, you know what, we trust you. This was a 2.5 hour movie. We didn't think that would sell, so we're gonna give you full reins. And also, this is a different company that they're going with. Goodfellas is Warner Brothers. Casino is Universal. So
Oh,
I imagine that Scorsese is using his fame off of Goodfellas to kind of uh, make his dream of Casino even better. Because these are books, and books you have to really tell the story to get a good feel for it. You see it a lot of times where the movie versions aren't as good as the books. And in this case, I haven't read any of the books, but I imagine that they are comparable.
well, the whole thing is that my thing about the book being better than the movie. It's because in the movie, I mean, the book,
Yeah,
I
we
get the
know Twilight.
yeah, no,
It
no,
scarred you. It's
no,
fine.
no, no. I mean, I still read books before and after Twilight. What I'm saying is when that's a good example because what I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking like blood and guts, and it's not. It's a freaking chick flick. So that's a good thing when you're saying yeah, because like from right when you're going to book, it's in your head,
Yeah.
and I guess like for Scorsese, would that be because this is like would it be a memoir like the Henry Hill book?
Of Yeah. No. Um. I think he got no, because a memoir you have to write it. This was written by somebody else.
Oh, okay, but
So this is
it's
this
his
is like
story.
a maybe a biography.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, but not really. A memoir is you reflecting on your life, and this is somebody telling a story of your life.
Yeah, that's true. I think with that, I mean, those books, and then to make a movie, man, it's gotta have those books gotta have a lot of information in them.
Yeah.
If you're able to read the book and then make a 3 hour movie from it.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I look at the Harry Potter books; they have a lot of information in them, and they're what probably close to 2 hours each.
Every
Actually,
movie.
I don't know,
How many Harry
but
Potter movies are there? Like five,
8.
eight? Damn.
Yeah, because there's seven books, and
And
there's 8 movies.
and how did those kids age in all those movies? Is there a significant spike where you see them at, like as a kid and all of a sudden they're adults, or
No, no, they kind of had those. They had the young actor feel. Plus, they got them when they were like 10, 11. So
oh, shit, dude?
that's because they were. I mean, well, yeah, because Daniel Radcliffe's is of the same age as I am, and he was in the first one, and that came out in 2001. So he's probably a couple years older than me. He's probably like 12, 13. But even at that point, like it's kind of like that young adult. So that's the same age that Harry was whenever he went to Hogwarts. So it lined up.
It lines up, okay.
It lines up. It does, and they were able to keep him fresh looking. I mean, all you have to do is have Daniel Radcliffe shave, and you're good. You know.
Um, yeah, I like the scene here where Jimmy and Henry leave the diner, and Jimmy, it's all early in the morning, and Jimmy knocks on the window of the FBI. He goes, "You ready to go for a ride?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
shows
dude.
you the significance difference of Jimmy and Ace.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
like,
and so, and does Henry kill anybody on screen?
man, I don't know. He just beats the hell out of that guy with the
I don't
gun.
think he does. I don't think you see Henry kill anybody. You don't see Ace kill anybody either.
Nah.
So you have your clear, like, I'm gonna put quotation marks, good guys, good fellas right here, if you will, that are just kind of along for the ride. Now I mean, Henry definitely sees people die, and even remember when they're digging up Billy Bat's body, and the other two are just like, oh, what's wrong with you, kid? You never had. Oh, here's an arm, here's a leg. They're screwing with him, and they're just so desensitized to this, and just they're used to it, man. Like they're like, ah, it smelled worse.
I, ne- I never picked up on that until I watched it this time because of the headphones and the subtitles where he says, "Hey, we gotta go pick up Billy Bats." He's like, "What?" He's like, "That's been 6 months," and I was like, "Oh, gross." I
Yeah.
couldn't remember that scene when I was younger where they're digging, but when I was watching it now, I was like, "Oh wait, they're gonna go dig up that guy's body." That's
And he's the only one that has a cover over his mouth. The other two are just they're
yeah.
just digging. They're like, this is normal.
I mean, notice that the Billy Bats character, he comes out a lot without even coming out a lot because
Well,
he's in the
it's
beginning of the movie,
you,
and then
it.
then you catch up with that part of the movie midway through the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a scene where the mom is looking at the freaking trunk. You mean they see the mom, and then the scene where they actually kill him. He comes out a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and
wow.
you said that Jimmy was a catalyst for this movie. No, it's Billy Bats. Billy
Now I
Bats
think
is
about it. Yeah.
Billy Bats is like not necessarily the catalyst, but he
Well,
is
he's
the
the
downfall almost.
yes,
He's the downfall of Tommy, um, and Jimmy kind of brings about his own.
demise in a way.
Yeah, and uh, if we're being real, man, I don't feel like Polly should have been. I know he's the boss and everything, but leave Polly alone. I like
Yeah.
Polly. He's there. He even tells Henry, like, go back to your wife.
Well, because he even
He's
tells him,
he's
"I got 20 years left, man." He's like trying to like,
yeah. Like, and even when they're in prison, like that was another thing I wanted to bring up to you. You don't hear Polly talk at the beginning of the movie. He's very quiet.
yeah.
And it's not until Henry starts getting into the family a little bit more that, okay, you hear Polly talking more. When he's in prison, I think that's the only time that Polly feels comfortable.
That's true, right?
Yeah, I really do, because he's talking, he's laughing, he's having a good time. He's in there just like I love that scene where he's slicing the garlic too.
Yeah, with the
And
razor.
you know what I liked about Goodfellas too is and this kind of ties back to a book series that I like a whole lot. They deal a lot with the food.
Hmm.
When in that scene where he has the helicopter following him. He explains everything he's going to do with the food. He talks about stirring the sauce all day, with Michael. I mean, you got to stir the sauce, got to stir the sauce. And whenever they're in prison, they go over how good they eat and stuff like that. And Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin, he will sit there and describe every bit of food, that they have.
I bet.
Shut. Yeah,
Zing! Sorry.
yeah. Fun fact though, whenever I was reading that book, that was the first time that I ever realized breakfast. You know how we say that? Like the first meal of the day is breakfast, right?
Yeah.
It's break fast.
Yeah.
Never cut on to that. I don't know if you have, but it's
Nah, yeah.
you're breaking your fast from the day before.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I went to this thing called the church, and they told me about that shit. I was
Oh,
like,
you can learn that in church too?
yeah,
Never
I was
knew.
like, what? Really? Yeah, we're breaking the fast. And then I was like, all right, whatever. Breakfast.
Oh, yeah, like that was, it was like an aha moment for me. Um,
That's when I found out that whole break fast thing.
yeah.
That I was like, oh, okay, it's you're breaking your fast. Like even the scene, like right here as I'm watching at the bottom of the movie ending where Tommy gets shot, like even the way they shot that with the blood squirting out,
Yeah.
um, it's like it's kind of Godfather-ish in that point. It
And
feels
that's another thing with Casino is you see some shootings in there, but you don't see a lot of blood.
nah.
You see a lot of firecrackers and stuff going on. The only like whenever he breaks his hand, that was a cool scene. Um, and
Oh
then
God, with the hammer.
yeah, and then I guess whenever Nikki goes and murders that one chick, and her whenever she's like waking up, and he just goes and like grabs
Oh
her head and shoots her.
yeah.
You know what I thought whenever that happened? How did he not shoot his arm?
Oh, did that's what they called it, the 22 gunman, the caliber.
Oh,
Uh,
gotcha. It
that's
didn't
why I
come out
get
the other
that.
side.
Yeah, it doesn't come out the other side. That and remember, was I talking?
I
No, I
didn't
think
even catch that. I saw it. I was like 22 caliber. Okay.
I got that because I read it because you don't hear it in
Yeah.
the and it's real faint, but when you look at it, sorry, here I'm looking at the part where his dad, Scorsese's dad, yeah, it's the top of his head. That's what you put up. It doesn't show the front of the face only once for a
Yeah.
split second, and then it shows the top of the head longer. So you put in there, but yeah, man, the thing also about the garlic with Paulie like slicing it where he says it melts in
Hmm.
the. That's like now I gotta try that. But the
I know.
22.
I think that every time. Like I'm like, oh, I don't want to slice garlic like that. But every time I cook and I have to use garlic, I'm like, I'm just gonna chop it up real fast.
I'll tell you this much. I haven't done that bacon trick you told me about, the scrunch bacon, and I need
You
to do it.
Oh, you have it? Oh, dude, yeah. No, definitely try it. It's
I did,
it's real good.
I did like in Casino the talk where he's like, no, it's not a good time. He's like, all right, when do I, like they have their own little talk,
Hmm.
and they also or they do it in Casino where the two women talk to each other,
Yeah.
and they have to kind of pause it and they tell each other real quick where to meet. Those little things were kind of like
But
cool,
how
and
did they know when they weren't listening?
I don't know, man. He just said every few minutes they would have to turn off. I'm like, why do you? I mean, unless they had like they're like 30 seconds go. We have 2 seconds and 30 seconds. You know,
Yeah.
the helicopter thing for Goodfellas. I was like, that they weren't that. He's just paranoid. But then he was right. They were chasing him.
Yep.
See, I told you, Karen. It's right there. It's right there. Like
She's
that's
like,
gotta
oh my god. Like
that's gotta
she believes him. Like I gotta
and
give
then
it to Karen. She is a trooper. Now
oh yeah
she might have put a gun in his face and everything, but I mean, she's she, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. I really and another scene I really liked in Goodfellas that was is whenever she flushes all the coke down the toilet.
yeah
He's like, "What are you doing, Karen? Like, why did you do that? They wouldn't have found it." And like he knows they would have found it.
yeah
He has to know. But he just starts like crying and breaking down, and that's the first time that I feel like that may be the first time that Karen sees him like actually doing that
yeah
because she's just over there like no, no, and holding him, and they hold each other, and it's like it's a real moment where they both kind of realize just how screwed up everything is, and I I really like that scene a whole lot just for that fact, like you see they're human. You know, he could put on this front all day, but he's a human. So
Damn the award. I want to see. Yeah, because I want to see. It says he's 21 and at certain scenes for Ray Liotta, but I'm like, how old was he during this movie?
oh dude, he was like 30. Had to be.
30, right? It's
Yeah.
like he plays a 21-year-old at some point. So I'm like, okay. Like, Joe Pesci did win a Best Supporting Actor for his role in Goodfellas, and then Sharon Stone was nominated for Best Actress in Leading Role for Academy.
Yeah, and see, well, and we kind of know that the Academy is bought. Uh, Not kind of know that is very apparent now, but I don't know how many awards did Casino win? Because Goodfellas, I could see that winning
It
some
says
awards, but Casino, it was
Casino
good.
has nominated one Oscar, four wins, 11 nominations. Goodfellas has one Oscar, 44 wins, 38 nominations. But I mean, like her performance is good. That's what I'm saying. Like as like where she like I'm looking at her performance, Sharon Stone's performance
Yeah,
now.
she was the only that was the only Oscar nomination was for Sharon Stone. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
now but with Goodfellas, it had a lot of nominations, right?
yeah. Let's see what it had. It has. I mean, you have just like I said, Joe Pesci. Then you have Oscar nominees for Best
Probably Best
Picture,
Picture, Best
Best Act,
Director.
Director, Best Actress, Best Writing, Best Film Editing.
Yeah, the
Uh,
film editing, I'll give it to him. That was good. Like I said, the long shots in
the
that
long
movie.
shots, man. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's I think that's what really made Goodfellas stick out is the shots that they used. You know, whenever Karen puts the gun on him and you see, um, you know, the gun clicking and everything. I think they even do that in Casino too. Whenever she's sniffing the cocaine, I think it's in Casino or it may have been
oh,
Goodfellas.
the cool shot they have.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
coke going up
yeah, the
the.
cocaine on the straw.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
pretty.
Goodfellas or Casino?
I think it's Casino.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man, I don't know actually. Now I'm confused. But
Well,
I
because
think it was Casino.
I
I
think
saw.
it
I
was
think I
too.
saw it this morning. I
Yeah, I
don't think I
think I
saw it
did
last
too
night.
because that was one thing that yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and it won. Let's see, what Oscar did? Um, oh, it was just Joe Pesci that won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's an Oscar.
that
Uh,
no, he deserved that one.
Man, yeah, and especially for like what he's compared to in 1990, I'm like that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the box office, the budget for Goodfellas was 25 million, and it racked in 47.1 million, so it doubled its budget. And then
Mhm.
for Casino, whoa, Casino, wow, a 3.5 hour movie was like 40 million, 50 million budget, and it racked in 116.1 million.
Oh, so it didn't do near as good as
Sorry,
Goodfellas.
I said 3.5. No, it killed.
No, but
It
it didn't do as good as Goodfellas though. You said Goodfellas was like 147,000. Then Casino was 116.
no, no. Goodfellas' budget was 25 mil and it made 47, and Casinos was 40 to 50 and it made 116. So, but Casino killed in the box office. It broke the 100 million in return.
Oh, I thought you said that Goodfellas hit 100 million. Sorry.
No, 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 it didn't. It didn't. I think
Oh,
it's more of a cultural icon, and it won more of those Sweetheart Awards. But it was probably limited release, or maybe not as many. But yeah, it only had a
oh,
25 mil.
I thought you said 146. It only wow. Okay, that's interesting. That it
That's what I was saying. 47. Yeah,
so yeah that it must have done good at the box office, and then everybody talked about it, and then there was oh I'll watch it when it comes out.
yeah. I
Wow.
mean,
So
Casino's a 3 hour movie, dude. That's insane, and it
yeah,
made that
and it made
much.
that much. I mean, that's before. I mean, you know, the one thing in the '90s, the long movie that was in the '90s was Titanic. I mean, that's the one that sticks out in everybody's mind, at
Yeah.
least mine. You know, so
I mean, a boat cruise for 2 hours and was how long is Titanic? Like that has to be like
I think it's like 3 hours,
man.
three and a half
I did
probably.
watch Titanic. I didn't watch the.
I know in the theater, my mom went to see it in the theater and it had an intermission. I know that.
I think yeah. I think I remember that. It is. Let's see. I got Titanic right here. 3 hours and 14 minutes. God
So I
damn.
mean, Casino is almost as long as Titanic.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's only 14 minutes shy. So you're talking like, okay, but Casino is 2 hours and 58 minutes with the credits. And yeah, wow.
Dude, Titanic, man. I can't believe we can't wait till we go there. And that's one movie, 8 hours.
Yeah, that'll be a side by side where we just compare the first half of Titanic to the
Titanic to the
second half.
second part.
Because I mean,
Uh,
remember when it came out on VHS and you had the two
the two
VHSs of
box,
it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
two
two box
boxes
set.
stuff. Yeah, I
I
remember
mean,
that.
Casino a two box set?
Maybe I don't
Actually,
remember.
I want to look that up now.
I don't. I
We're
don't.
gonna
I
go
don't
down
know.
another hole.
With the VHS, do you think that the DVD should have been the behind the Blu-ray behind the Let's see
They have it on Amazon. Let's see.
what you got. Well, I'll start getting ready. It's warming up for the ratings. We're already at that time.
Yeah, it
Even our
does.
podcast isn't even like 3 hours. That's like
Yeah.
that's insane. Let's see. We have the IMDb rating for Goodfellas. It is a 8.7 out of 10 with 1 million votes.
Let's see here. And let me go ahead and I won't go down that rabbit hole. We'll just say it wasn't, and that they were just trying to market uh, Titanic as another long
Titanic as a
movie.
two. I mean, they had a bunch of other ones that weren't even like super long, and they had two
Yeah.
box.
What about was Braveheart a two boxer?
Yeah, Braveheart
It
was a
was,
two part one. Yes,
and
it
that
was. I
was a
remember.
3 hour long movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was a long one. Dude, you know
Maybe
what?
maybe maybe Casino was it was 2 hours and 58 minutes. Maybe it wasn't because it didn't hit that 3 hour mark.
Dude, Braveheart is 258 too.
Oh, damn it!
We'll
Why'd
figure.
you
You'll
gotta tell?
figure.
Why'd you have to tell me that?
Hey man, we're not all full of smoke and mirrors here. We got a little bit of
I would.
internet usage out of
What was
this.
that? I typed in Rotten Tomatoes and it gave me like some other site. That was weird.
Actual Rotten Tomatoes. Rate my
Yeah,
tomatoes. Rate my Rotten
it was
Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Um,
Oh, damn tomatoes. All right, so let's see. We're already at 206. We'll go with wow.
okay, so Rotten Tomatoes. I typed in a question to Bing and said Casino VHS two cassettes. Actually, I put toe. Shit. Um, I didn't spell two right. Dang it. How do you spell two? Is it Tow? Uh,
Toe.
toe.
Yeah, it is.
To.
It is in a two box set.
It
I have it
is.
right here.
Casino is.
Yeah,
All
yeah, it's
right.
a two
Cool.
box set. It's right in front of me. VHS two box
Thank
set.
you for clearing that up. I appreciate it.
All right, what's the Rotten Tomato score on Goodfellas?
Goodfellas. Oh, let's see here. Good. Oh my goodness. Come on, computer. You got this. Just work. That's all I need you to do. Just
Now
work.
it's also Cleopatra is a two box set as well.
Oh, the one with Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, yeah, you knew that. I did not know that. Richard Burton, Rex Harrison. That's a two box set too.
What about Lawrence of Arabia?
Dances with Wolves is another one. I'm just kind of going by what they're selling. I'm looking.
All
Das
right.
Boot. This one.
Das Boot.
Das Boot.
All right. So Goodfellas on Rotten Tomatoes is a certified fresh 96% tomato meter out of 103 reviews. Audience score is going to be a 97% out of 250,000 ratings. The critics' consensus on this is going to be a hard hitting and stylish. Hard hitting and stylish. Goodfellas is a gangster classic and arguably a high point in Martin Scorsese's career. Well, it's not saying a whole. I mean, obvious. That's they must have written that way back
It's a
then. 'Cause,
gangster classic and arguably the
I
high
have
point of Francis.
yeah right. That's thanks. Appreciate that really in depth analysis of
There's no emotion
Goodfellas.
behind
Yeah,
my
dude.
ratings.
Oh, and so I know you haven't seen The Irishman, but it has a lot of the feel of Goodfellas, where you start off at a certain point and then you work your way back there.
Okay,
Yeah. So that just keep that in mind too. I guess if you watch it.
I'll
Um,
watch it. I'll watch it soon. I just don't know
it's
when
dude,
soon.
it's a long one. I mean, it would be a three box set. Um,
Ah, damn.
yeah. Oh, dude. Whenever I pulled up Rotten Tomatoes and Casino, It showed him. It showed the shot of Robert De Niro with his glasses
That's
watching
all.
Tommy coming out to the desert.
It's a good shot.
Oh, dude, it is. That's another good thing. I want some of those glasses that De Niro
Yeah.
has at the end of
Yeah,
Casino
when he
too.
starts, I like it when he's cussing at the board with those big glasses. He looks funny.
Yeah,
So it got a 96 and 97, Goodfellas. I mean, so you're damn near telling me it's just 4% from being a 100% movie. Like
yeah,
everybody that watches is gonna love it.
yeah. I I do disagree.
Ah, no, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I think this is a acquired taste these days, especially the way they treat women.
And
Um,
also let's not even let's the I feel like if Goodfellas if somebody nowadays watched it, it'd be like, oh, we need to cancel this movie.
yeah, hell yeah. I
The
mean,
racial slurs in both of these movies are
oh,
just like, you got
but
you have a lot of it, and it's a timepiece.
it's
You
an
know
actual
that
like timepiece, so it's
it
like yeah,
is,
that they really do talk like this. So
and you have movies like Django Unchained and all this other stuff, but that's I don't know, man. It's just an interesting thing to. It's like you show this to the younger generation, like, oh my god, they talk like this. Like, how do they get away with that?
I mean, I feel like people cuss like way more now, and
Oh, I'm
like
just talking about
no, I
the
know. And if
yeah,
like if you watch this movie, like I think it'd be like normal, you know. They
yeah.
wouldn't. I think they wouldn't really be like, oh my god, no. But
Well, okay, here's a good question for you. If you made a movie like this, like a timepiece like this today, do you think especially a gangster movie, do you think they would include that nowadays or no?
if it's relevant to the story, it is
Yeah.
in this movies because they have the. I mean, it isn't in Goodfellas when the guy steals the truck, you know, and they just
Yeah.
blame it on, you know, I think that's kind of like that's what would happen. So I don't see them not putting that
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So there's certain scenes like that, and just showing the way they talk and the lingo. No, I don't. I mean, I think you would still. I mean, there's only like two or three racial slurs in the movies, but in I think both these movies.
Well, if you're I mean, if you don't include like racial slurs against Irish people and
Oh,
Italian
that okay? Then
people,
yeah. Sorry. I mean, I was saying about the way the
yeah.
Irish are, or the whatever the mob was towards
Yeah.
the black people.
Mhm.
But that'd be one way to look at it. But if it was made today,
I was just
uh,
curious. I just
I don't
didn't
think they would. But I think if it was like relevant to the story and there's a part why, then yes. But I don't know. Probably they probably wouldn't. I don't know.
yeah.
How would you make a mob movie now? Because aren't they making mob movies? I mean, now other than Scorsese, or is he the only one still making mob movies?
I Not legitimate mob movies at least. It's all about the cartel now. You have Narcos and Pablo Escobar, and
Yeah,
that's the real breadwinner now.
yeah.
It's all about crime, but it's just a matter of who's doing the crime and all that.
So it must be a Disney movie then. Okay, so that's where they promote all that stuff. But so we have Casino, and it has an 8.2 out of 10 rating with 470,000 votes casted.
Hmm.
So what we got?
So on the Rotten Tomatoes, Casino is going to have an 80% fresh tomato meter, so 16 points below Goodfellas, out of 66 reviews, so a few less reviews as well. And then on the audience score, we have a 93%, which with Goodfellas, it was a 97, so only a 4% difference there on the audience score. Same amount
Yeah,
of ratings, 250,000 plus. Um, the critics' consensus on Casino, impressive ambition and bravura, bra, bravura,
Bravara.
bravura.
Is it supposed to be
Ooh,
Bravaro?
I don't
Baro.
know. Bravura performances from an outstanding cast help Casino pay off in spite of a familiar narrative that may strike some viewers as a safe bet for for director Martin Scorsese. That seems like this is giving it a good review, but a little bit of shade as well. It's like, yeah, we've seen this story before, but you do it so good, we'll let it slide. Also, man, even though I've seen Casino, I still thought that Jimmy died at the beginning. I totally forgot that he survived. Or not Jimmy Ace.
Ace?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot that he survived at the end. Do you think that's why they kept his narrative going, and then as soon as Tommy, or excuse me, sorry, I'm getting them all mixed up. As soon as Nicky dies, they like cut him out. You think that's why?
Yeah, I think so. I
Just to
think
kind
you're.
of
I think
yeah.
yeah. I think that's it was a quick. like it was a quick like answer, but they made it long by telling it this way.
Yeah,
It's a quick ending. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they did that on purpose. Oh, well, I mean, 96 and 97 for Goodfellas is extremely. I think this is the highest rated movie we've done
I think so
um,
too.
on
It's
both ends.
it's not surprising because I mean I feel like a good chunk of people have seen at
Yeah.
least Goodfellas. Casino, I feel like that one.
I
Uh,
mean, that 3 hour runtime is really intimidating. But if you say you hand into it and you like monster movies, you know,
yeah,
if I had to pick, and what I'm gathering, if I had to pick one, I'd definitely. And I love Vegas, but I would pick Goodfellas. I'd pick between one or the other.
oh yeah, same.
Um,
I mean, hell, I think probably about 3 months ago I watched Goodfellas. Oh, by the way, you've been watching TikTok, right?
yeah,
Have you seen those TikToks where it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh
yeah,
no?
yeah.
You
Oh
heard that song,
no,
right? In
oh no.
Goodfellas,
Yeah, I think you know
when
what.
it's like,
Honestly,
whatever happened
I
to.
I think what happened with that song is I've actually blocked it out because I've heard so much of that that when
Uh,
what happened I didn't think about it. Ugh. Sorry, everyone. But you know, I would see like this casino rating where it's a 80, 93. For a lot of movies we watch, I would think that it would be like that, but it's usually the opposite. It's like the tomato meter is usually telling me it's supposed to be better than the audience, and
yeah,
I think the audience scores its own thing, the tomato meter scores its other thing, and the side by side score is its own very thing.
it's the
So
best thing.
it's the only thing that we have here that we have. So I'm gonna take off the casino.
Okay.
Hello,
Hey,
and
oh
then we're gonna
wow,
do
there you
our.
are.
I've been here the whole time.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let's do our rating. So we're gonna do the patented 1 through 13.
Okay.
Basically 1 through 10 being a good movie is a regular score, but we have the 11, 12, and 13 for the cream of the crop, a little bit more on top. Um, I don't know about.
You want me to go first? You want to
Yeah,
go
go
first?
first. Go first with Goodfellas. Or
Goodfellas with Goodfellas. You want me to tell you what I think of Goodfellas? It's a 13.
is that is wow?
There's no question about it.
It's a 13,
If I can watch a 2.5 hour movie
and that makes yeah.
and it doesn't make me feel that way, and it makes me feel a certain type of way, like I f- I feel for these characters. I can empathize with these characters that are obviously doing bad.
Yeah.
That it's apparent that they are not good people, yet in my own screwed up way I still want to be a part of them. You know, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't say I idolize these people at all, but the their idea of how life should function,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is not that far-fetched.
And that's something I didn't. But Casino hits me with the you're looking at a villain the whole time, but you don't really know it. Where in Goodfellas, you know you're looking at a villain, and you kind of have to go through this and see where it ends up going. I was gonna give it an 11, but after you're talking, it's 12. It is a 12. It's a close 13 if you really want to be honest, but I got it as a 12. It's just mob movies aren't my thing too much, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna deny that for other people. And if you like, I mean, I used to watch mob movies all the time as a kid, but I don't know, I kind of got out of them.
I'm trying to
Uh,
think if there's any other mob movies that I really like. I mean, besides The
the
Godfather and
Godfather trilogy,
Godfather Part 2.
yeah.
Godfather Part 3 is okay.
I
It's
didn't even realize. I looked it up right now. It's like 1990 was The
yeah, no, The
Godfather 3.
Godfather Part 3 and Goodfellas came out the same year.
So it's
Yeah.
like wow, it's the same year. I think for Martin Scorsese making a movie, I thought when I watched Departed, I thought that movie had a little bit more story to it. More like it was just kind of crazy telling of a mob story. You know, man, Scorsese really does like the mob.
Well,
He
look at
has,
his last name, bro.
that's true, right?
He had to have grown up around people like that.
Yeah,
He grew up in New York, right?
yeah, in the Queens, I believe.
In the 60s, 50s,
Yeah,
60s,
good old
like
Martin
well,
Scorsese.
and that's probably why Goodfellas has such of like that nostalgic feel too.
Yeah.
Another cool thing about Goodfellas is I love how the music kind of defines where you're at in the story. Like
Mm-hmm.
it in the 50, whenever it's in the 50s, it's all that, it's Frank Sinatra, all the old classic music that everybody loves, and then you get to the 60s and the 70s, and you feel the difference between the time periods just through the songs too. Um, so and you don't really get that with Casino as much. You don't. It's not as long of a time period either.
Yeah.
You get the whip it,
Yeah.
in Casino.
He does come on
Um,
there.
so And like I said, the music choice in both these movies, I think, is fantastic. It really, I I'm a big music guy. If the music is good, I'm probably gonna enjoy the movie. Even if the score is really good, I'm gonna enjoy the movie.
Yeah,
Um, but let's move on to Casino.
Casino.
We're gonna get your rating on Casino before I give mine.
I give it an 11.
Mhm.
I think like told all over the platform of just like a good story. It's there. Now that watching it again and picking up on things I didn't pick up when I was younger, I'm like, oh, okay, makes a better story. It's not really. It doesn't really feel too long as a 3 hour movie, but it doesn't feel like Goodfellas. Where when Goodfellas, when I got to the hour mark, I was like, all right, cool, an hour and a half, all right. But in Casino, when I got to the hour and a half mark, I was like, all right, I get to watch another movie now. Like here's the second
Yeah,
part of the VHS. Like but then after like an hour and 45 minutes into it, I really got into it. But it's like a lot of information. It's a lot to take in, a lot to remember. Even what you just said right now about Billy Bat's character in Goodfellas, that gives me more of a, like I want to put more on that 12 in there, 13-ish, because it has more of a cleverness. Where Casino's a straightforward, right in your face movie. You're seeing what they're doing. You're seeing how things operate. You're literally seeing how a casino works in the 60s or the 50s, where
I was
like
it was the '70s.
70s.
Yeah,
Like you get to really see when a casino is how it was run and
yeah.
all the I don't know all the messed up things that go on.
Hmm.
It's like waiting. You get to see the other part of the waiting part of restaurants. It's not just people just waiting tables.
Yeah, and especially with Casino, you get the it's like the end of an era with Casino. You get to see that because whenever it first starts off, it says 1983, and then it goes
That's
back
right.
10 years earlier. So you see 73 through 83 essentially, and that's like the end of the mafia. Well, end of the mafia rule in Vegas.
Yeah.
So they say they probably just learned how to do their business better, and to cover their tracks. Um, but yeah, you're right. It does have a lot more explaining to do because Goodfellas, like I feel like people can relate to that
Yeah.
more so than Casino, because Casino, like you said, you got like, well, this guy's doing this over here, and like you have to explain how you got to this point or why you're doing what you're doing. Um, you know, one thing I thought that was cool about Casino, and I could be wrong, does Ace have the camera or the like the cameras from the casino at his house in his bedroom?
Yeah.
Did
I
you see
think
that?
I
Was he
caught on
watching
that.
that?
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
think that was his
crazy, man.
house. Yeah.
And for a second I was like, is he staying at the casino? But then no, he's like, I got to go back to my house, and then he wakes up, and so I wonder how far away he lives from the casino
That's
as
another
well.
thing. I honestly, because with the casino, you're following like a guy behind it, where
Yeah.
you have an adult, and then we're Goodfellas, you have like a kid. You're watching a kid grow
And
up, so you get a little bit more attached to that innocence to it.
yeah, and then Goodfellas too. I mean, you've seen mob movies before. It's not like they haven't had mafia and mob movies, but this one is first off, it's based off of true events, and then secondly, it's I feel like it's told differently. Like at the end, whenever Ray Liotta is, given his whole thing at the whenever he's on the stand, and then
Yeah,
he starts talking he breaks the fourth wall, you know. It
he
just
gets out and he walks,
he
and
gets
he's
out
like,
and walks like it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. We were the judges were bought, the lawyers were bought, everything was bought.
yeah,
Um, and both movies in the same way. You look at the main character at what they're doing now and how they're doing it, and with Henry, he's living the straight and narrow life. Or, well, once you read the end of it, he's not, but it looks like he is. And in the casino, you see Ace just doing his business
you
as
know,
usual.
it gets what you're saying right there with Henry and Goodfellas. Like he's like he's a bad guy, but you see the guy that he beats up with because of Karen. Like there's
Yep.
also someone like lower than that. There's also like there's scummier under that. So
It's
there's
yeah, it's his business is bad, but he's not a bad person.
yeah.
It's just business. I mean, they even say that about Jimmy, like robbing and stuff. He's like, it's just a business. Like that was his business, was robbing
He-
people, and he was good at it.
and he loved it too. Like
Yeah.
he loved doing that.
Or
So
yeah, that's what it said. Like hitting, you're killing people. It was just business. That's what it was. But robbing was what he loved. It. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
yeah,
But let me go ahead and give my rating on Casino, 11 as well. Um, I I have to agree with you. Like it's more of a behind the scenes. It's more of like I think probably in the early '90s too. Vegas was like that hot spot of like kind of like how Miami was with all the cocaine deals and everything. Like Vegas was built on crime, and so is Miami. And you're just kind of looking at this place now with glossed over eyes. You don't really want to look at the history of it. You just enjoy what it is now.
yeah,
And that end scene too in Casino where you see all those old people in like sweatpants and stuff like that, just walking into the casino.
yeah.
You notice the difference of the people coming in, um, tearing down the Tangiers and everything. Like, there's no,
Well,
they don't,
they got rid of they swept it under the rug, right?
yeah,
And it's basically they said the corporations came in, so the
hmm
corporations still do it the same way that the mobsters did. The mobsters they did a layout, but the way they did it was corrupt.
yeah,
So the corporations hide behind. They're doing the same exact thing. They just hide behind the tape that they measure you with.
they have better lawyers, and they aren't. Oh, they're probably killing people. Let's not
Yeah,
let's be
yeah.
real. There's still holes out in the Vegas
Because
desert. You know,
yes,
like there has to be the
but
way
he,
that
but
town
he,
runs. Yeah.
but even like that, you're right. There might be more metaphor, metaphorical holes. Like, but there's ways that they're gonna get their money out of you.
And
Yeah,
yeah, and ooh,
I
was
don't
that
have that.
ESPN?
I don't have that app.
Uh,
Why is it?
well,
If
and
I try to get rid of it, it comes back.
what was it? I had somebody who worked with me that said, Vegas is just a fake town. It's all fake. Everything's fake out there.
But it's fun.
It is,
If I had to
but
pick, like LA is fake, but that's people fake. What do you call it? Vegas is structurally fake,
Vegas is
but
fake and it knows it.
yeah, but you can do things with it. Like you can go eat a gourmet meal. You can go gamble. You can go, you can. There's so many things you can do in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's got a fake mirage because it's in the desert feel,
Oh,
but
that's
but
good. I
um,
like that.
but it's not. It's
They even have
tangible.
a casino. It's Tangiers. Is that what you
No,
said?
it's a tangible, but
Oh,
Tangier sounds good. Um,
Tangiersible.
but I think for what I love about Vegas, it's just it's a lot of it's clean. A lot of it is, or the places I go, because there's casinos there that aren't. But I mean, it's just a great time. You could really do whatever you want, just by like letting your hair hang loose and walking around. Getting ready. I want to get ready to go back already. I don't know for when we are gonna go, or when I'm gonna be there, but I would like to go. But I guess we're putting this one in the books. We're already about to hit 2:30. I don't even know where to go from this. We can go so many ways. When that movie popped in my head through going through this was Enemy of the State.
Hmm.
I thought about that with Will Smith, and only because now as we're ending it with corruption, I thought that popped in my head. But there's no real connection with that, unless well, they're mobs in there.
I have somewhere we can go.
Where do you want to go?
De Niro,
You want to hit De Niro?
and I want to do Joker.
Joker, a 3 hour movie.
I don't think so.
Joker. Let's see.
I think it's only like 2.5.
I mean, now that makes a difference. You're right. That'll make a.
It does. I mean, we see that with these two movies. I don't even know if
Oh
it's an
no,
hour
it's
and a
only a
half.
2 hour movie.
And first off, not only will we have a repeat offender with De Niro, we'll have a repeat offender with director Todd Phillips. Um,
And in Casino, when he plays the host, we already kind of
that's
saw De
that's
Niro.
that's what triggered that. First off,
Well, if you man, then if we're gonna do De Niro, what other
no, but
performances?
but here's the thing. I just got De Niro for the Joker. All right, that's where my mind went. So I say we do Joker and The Dark Knight.
So if you want to do Heath Ledger's comparable Joker, so we'd be picking a movie in the middle of the trilogy. It'd be the part two of 1 through 3. So
Hmm
breaking some rules there. We do that here. Let's see. Joker is. Let's see. I have it right here. I haven't even seen Joker, so
You haven't seen it
spoiler
at all?
spoiler alert. Well, I was waiting to
Oh,
see when I was gonna go back in the theater so I can go watch it because
it's
Tarantino
on.
was.
It's on HBO
It's
Max.
on HBO Max, but I'm waiting for it. I was waiting for it because they've been putting movies back in the theater, and I
Hmm.
was like, this one might come back. I'll go watch it, and it
No,
hasn't.
well, I don't think it will because whenever it did come out in the theater, there were shootings that
Uh,
happened.
wow,
Yeah,
that's something to look into.
yeah.
The Gotham City mentally troubled comedian Arthur Fleck is disregarded and mistreated by society. He then embarks on a downward spiral of revolution and bloody crime. This path brings him face to face with his alter ego, the Joker. Todd Phillips, writers Todd Phillips, Scott Silver, Bob Kane. Don't forget about Bob Finger, is that the other one? Or Bill Finger? And then it's Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, and Zazie Beetz. And you
We could
want to?
either do Dark Knight or we could do Joaquin and compare. I've never seen her,
I
so
haven't seen her either.
we could do either the dark. I mean, I like the character. I mean, because Heath Ledger's Joker is iconic. And here's the real question, and this is one that we could answer if we do it. Is it iconic because he died?
Yeah.
I mean, would it have
Are you saying that if
guard?
he wouldn't have died, he wouldn't have been so
No,
iconic?
I think it would have been still a great movie, and I think it's a great performance. But would it have garnered him an Oscar?
I don't know. I wasn't one of those people that was like, oh, he's a crazy. I wasn't even comparing him to Jack Nicholson's
No.
Joker. I was just kind of like, okay,
I
cool.
mean,
I thought it.
I think regardless of him passing, the what he brought to the role was iconic regardless. But with that being said, I feel like after that, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Joaquin and Jared Leto both had to be on some kind of watch to make sure they weren't going too far down.
Oh, because of after that.
Yeah,
Well, how about Jared Leto's Joker? We compared to Joaquin Phoenix's
get out of here. I'm
I
not
gotta
doing
go.
that.
I gotta go.
No, that was that's funny, but no.
No, they get to like
I mean, Jared Leto in Zack Snyder cut of Justice League
maybe.
and Joaquin. We'll talk about it. Suicide Squad. I don't know what David Ayer was doing, but yeah, I was not impressed.
All right, so let's see Dark Knight. I think yeah, I think we well
And it's
see this
also a
is
10-year difference too
the only
between the two
issue is
movies.
that this is a Batman movie and not a Joker movie, where this isn't a Joker movie.
Oh yeah, tell that to everybody who watches The Dark Knight. No, it's a definitely a Joker movie. Batman's just in it.
I'm just saying,
I
there's not a lot of the Joker. We could compare, but we were talking about other things more than the Joker from The Dark Knight.
What? No, dude, he is comparable. I think he probably has comparable screen time to Batman in that movie.
You think so? How long? Oh, this is 2.5, so this one's actually longer. Dark
Yeah.
Knight's actually longer. Well, I mean, I'm cool with it.
What do you think? I
I'm
mean,
not. I
like I
can't
said,
fight.
we could
I'm cornered. I'm cool with the joke.
we could do. Do you want to? Okay,
Well,
Joker or and plus we even had Harvey Dent referenced as Ray Liotta. Like I think we should go Batman.
but I think you're right. The only though this is my. I'm trying to find a way to make sure it doesn't fall back. But this is called the Dark Knight. It's not called Batman 2.
Yeah.
So we could do that.
And
I could.
honestly, I feel like a lot of people didn't even watch Batman Begins. I think the only reason the Dark Knight got so much publicity was because of the passing.
You got to watch what you say there, dude. I think a lot of people saw Dark Knight Begins. Like,
No, they didn't because it's Batman Begins. Okay.
oh, so I'm sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
no one saw Dark Knight Begins. Batman Begins. A lot of people did see that, and they saw all three of them. So I think
but
maybe,
I know it's probably been a minute since you watched all three, but which one's your favorite?
man. Well, yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah. It's easy. That's an easy one.
And why is that?
Well, I mean,
Because
I
is
think
it?
this.
Would you, if the Joker wasn't in the Dark Knight, would you have liked it as much?
I mean, no, they did perfect with the Joker coming out. They did well with leading us on with the Scarecrow and then dropping us off with this amazing Joker,
Yeah.
and then leading us with Bane. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go with this. I think yeah, because I'm looking for the just the other things, like the titles and stuff to make sure it's not a split sequel. But there are. Yeah, right. The Harvey Dent would be in this. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Dark Knight or the Joker. Yeah, Dark Knight and the Joker.
And this is, like I
That's
said,
it.
this one would be like, how'd you go from Goodfellas and Casino to the Joker and
Hmm.
Dark Knight Rises? And it's easy. Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro opens the Joker, and then we have Christopher Nolan and Kristen Bell with Heath Ledger kind of showing us. Okay, we'll get that going. It makes sense to me now because if I was saying if it was Batman 2, it'd be like, oh, I don't want to do a 2, but it's the Dark Knight, so it means it's a book in the series of, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you could read Bane, and you could read Batman Begins. I'm sorry, not Bane. Well, you could watch any order. It doesn't have to be like one doesn't lead to another, does it? Oh, well, I guess no. Batman Begins you need to watch because it's the origin. It don't matter
But still,
because there's so many origins. There's like 3 origin movies for Batman already.
But see, what I'm saying is, you could watch if you hadn't seen Batman Begins, you could still watch The Dark Knight and be just.
Oh
fine.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
There's
There's a
all
lot.
3 of them are standalone movies. They just are part of.
What did you do? I see he has plastic. He put plastic on his feet, so he's walking around with
I
plastic.
was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I also was like, what is he doing? He has plastic now, but I think it's time. It's been yeah. He's coming. Here he comes. We gotta cut it.
All right.
Cut it go. But yeah. So we're moving on to 2019 Joker with the 2008 The Dark Knight. So we're gonna we'll compare. We'll see where this intertwines, and we'll see the performancing stick out.
Did you say we're at Bruce Wayne's?
Oh, Bruce Wayne's. He explains.
Ooh. I
Um,
just may
They could come back in.
go to the bay.
Eat some hay.
I
Eat
just
some
may.
hay. Just may. So let's do I should have been playing this already from the get go. The farewell.
Just a couple of good fellas here.
Some good fellas going to the casino. But we're gonna go watch a Joker, and you never know, we might
may
end
be
up
a
Dark
Dark
Knights. It might be Dark Knight.
It may be a dark night. You may not see the Joker card at the casino with these good fellas.
Oh, that's a movie right there.
Yeah.
4 in 1. It'll only be 90 minutes. We don't need 3 hours. I don't know. Is that a thing now? Like a 2.5 hour movie is just the norm? Would you expect that?
For a movie that is established, yeah. For a story that's established, yes.
Did you think that Guardians of the Galaxy got because they came in towards the end of the Phase 1 or Phase 2? Do you think that because they had the popularity of the MCU already started, that it was able for them to, or do you think they're already established on their own?
No, MCU helped that.
MCU helps, right?
They had. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Yeah.
I would have only done research. And then, okay, so if it hadn't come out in 2014, and say it came out in 2008,
8,
maybe 9, 2008, 2010, no. I mean, because the internet. I mean, I barely had an iPhone at that point.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have an iPhone in 2008.
Well, we got some couple, but these 2 hour movies are gonna go by pretty fast, so we'll see how that
I
goes.
take that back, dude. I was looking at comingsoon.net on the internet all the time. So I was looking at movies back then.
Okay.
Even on the computer. So yeah, I might have.
All right, well, we're ending the broadcast now. See y'all later.
Have a good evening.
Peace.
Bye bye.
I see those shoes over there.